You let me know what you want me to do. Okay. You guys. Okay.
Welcome in. How are we doing tonight? I hope you are having a fantastic 3-day weekend. Labor Day weekend is upon us here. We have hopefully you have Monday off. We are, Scotty, you don't. You're working with the Rockies,
yeah,
obviously.
No. It's really insensitive, Chris, actually, to throw that out there.
My bad, man.
I have feelings.
I mean, I'm sorry. I messed that up. I know you got to work. But hey, the Rockies are trying to, get some wins down the stretch here to finish off the season. But you know what? We're here on Moon Princess is here. In fact, I have off tomorrow, which means you can stay late tonight, Moon Princess. Let's do it. Let's see. We have a big show tonight. Guys, we are 4 days away from the start of the NFL season. We are here live with you in the lab, and we can't wait to get things rolling here. Football Wife, thank you so much for the 9 months. Appreciate the love. Let's go.
That's actually shocking it's not longer.
I know. It seems like it would be longer, right? Guys.
In a good way, Football Wife. In a good way.
I hope you are ready for football season. We've had this countdown timer. Sorry, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. The countdown timer. I'm tired of seeing it.
I mean, I'm ready for it not to exist for sure.
The fact that we still have it is kind of a travesty. But hey, you know what? We are almost there. We could almost kick it to the curb. I know
it's not there yet, Chris. We got a few days.
We have a little bit of time. So, with that being said, welcome to the ActionLab, your premier sports and entertainment talk show on the internet. We are live with you here from Twitch. It's like talking sports with your friends and family inside your living room, except your friends and family are all over the world. So, we want to make sure we give you as much content as possible. Scotty, we're kicking off our Wednesday show coming up very, very strong with a lot of information when it comes to your top matchups. Everything else, we're going to be hitting you on Thursday night with a new and improved Game Watch. We're going to be doing it live here. We're going to be doing it potentially on the front page. Who knows? We have some ins on potentially being on the big stage.
We got the faces for it, Chris.
We got the faces for it. So we are going to be trying to do that here with you guys live.
So real quick, Chris, I blew something before we got started here. One, am I glitchy at all? Like, am I potatoing? Because my internet is awful here.
It's a little, but I mean, you sound fine, and maybe your video kind of jumps around a little bit, but
everything seems delayed. But also, I gotta go grab the chargers to my laptop here, or I'm gonna be gone in about 30 seconds here.
all right, go do it.
So I will be right back. It's not a code yellow. It's just a. It's just an issue here.
If you want to, if you want to spam code yellow in the chat, might as well. You just get a little early on it. A little off, but sounds great. Says JK. Perfect. Yeah. So we have a lot in store for you tonight. We are going to be doing our NFL predictions on who we think is going to make the playoffs, who is going to make the division round, the championship round, the Super Bowl. We're also going to go over all of the thoughts we have on any kind of awards coming up here, like when it comes to all of the, MVP, Coach of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. We're going to go over all of that. So I'm just here to bash the Chargers and the Bills, says McDuggets. That's you can be here to do that as well. We're going to be going over all of these different topics here live with you in tonight's show. We have some recaps of yesterday's first week of the college football slate, so we're going to make sure we're getting in on that. There's a lot to talk about there. By the way, we have a hype train that's going to be close here, so if you guys have any Twitch Prime subs or bits that you want to throw out there with a message, go ahead and do that now, and we will kick off a hype train. I think it just disappeared on me, so I don't know. But thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for showing up here on the Action Lab. Scotty's getting plugged in here. Hopefully he can beat the clock. It's kind of like you know what I feel like? It's kind of like a Mission Impossible. The clock is running down on his battery, and he's just like ticking away before the bomb goes off. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Fantasy advice: is OJ Howard worth it? No, he's not. He's not worth it right now.
I felt like I was in the movie Heavyweights, Chris, and I was against the clock, and Ben Stiller was yelling at me to get my ass going. Woo!
Yeah. There
right
you go.
After I had some nice McDonald's for dinner, by the way. It's just super classy.
No, that's great. No, you doing your thing. You're doing what you got to do. So we have some big announcements for Thursday Night Football. I'll get to those here in a little bit, so don't go anywhere. We're letting people trickle in, but Scotty, like I said, we're going to talk some college football, some of the things that came through, and some of the things that we noticed yesterday with some of the outcomes of some of those games. We're going to talk about all of our NFL picks and all of our awards for the season this coming Wednesday. Again, hit that follow button if you have not already. If you're new to the lab, my name is Chris. This is Scott. We are your hosts for the Action Lab. We want to make sure you're here with us each and every single time we go live when it comes to the NFL content. We're going to hit you with so much. Let's make sure you hit us up.
Tonight's going to be fun, Chris. I'm excited. We're here. It's the week of the start of the NFL season, Chris. Real quick, catching up in the chat. Chairman actually nails it. He's like, so cool to see Dave. I know who Dave Attell? Is that how you say it? And Anthony Jeselnik doing a show together. Chris, do you know who those two comedians are?
I do.
I know which one you are. And that it actually kind of nails it a little bit.
Yeah.
Chairman nails it there a little bit. Yeah, I could see myself appreciating Anthony Jeselnik's just dry, awful, sarcastic humor. And you and Dave Attell could be twins. If you guys replace each other, I don't even know if I'd tell the difference. JK, wife's surgery went well on Friday. Won't have to duck out early tonight. Great to hear, JK. Thanks for letting us know. That's great to hear. So glad the wife's surgery went well. All is good.
Yes.
We are, unfortunately, we'll get into that in a little bit, but we have some somber news to talk about in a little bit. We probably won't touch on that quite yet, but some somber news. But JK, absolutely thrilled that you're here and glad that your wife is doing well.
Yes. We're planning a Walmart trip tomorrow because they have the Baja Blast, and I don't have to keep ordering Taco Bell just for Baja Blast.
Wait, Walmart? What do you mean Walmart has Baja Blast? They're selling they're selling a 12 pack of Baja Blast now?
I guess that's the thing.
Just at your Walmart or all Walmarts? Chris, I'm going to say something controversial here. I'm going to say two things. I love Taco Bell.
Yep.
But number 2 is I have never, ever had a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Never
Can I
had it.
say something controversial as well? Neither have I. Oh, oh, I haven't. Is it worth the hype? Is it worth the hype? The Baja Blast? Because I don't know. I haven't tried it. I haven't gotten in on it. Hey, let's go.
Let's go. Chris, why didn't I see that? What am I missing? Where am I?
Did you
Actually, I gotta change something. Hold on.
Welcome in, all of you guys coming in with the raid. Appreciate it. Let's go.
Coming in. I joined her at the very end of her stream, Chris. She drafted a fantasy football squad tonight, which it had some players. It had McCaffrey, who I love. I'm all on board, as we'll get into later on McCaffrey. Had Herbert. Fine.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell, RB2. I think, trying to remember now. Was concerned at their wide receiver 2. I think Drake London was trying to be subbed out for Gabriel Davis as the wide receiver 2. But I hopped in real quick while you were. I was like, we're supposed to be going live. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, for the first time ever, I'm waiting on Chris. Usually,
it's always the other way around.
Always waiting on me. To be fair,
100%.
I don't know if I explained that well enough, but we're always waiting on me, except for tonight, for the first time ever.
To Fridge Gaming, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. It looks like Bears. Bears, go Bears. Let's go, Chicago. By the way, if you guys are here, my name is Chris. This is Scott. We are your host for the Action Lab. We are going to be getting you all situated. We're going to be doing picks for the playoffs tonight. We're going to be doing all sorts of fun stuff when it comes to all the awards that we're going to be giving out. So make sure you guys go hit that follow button so we can make sure you guys are here each and every single time we go live. Also, we have some new updates, and I want to make a big announcement tonight. Tonight, we are launching our website and our store. Now, I'm still working through them. I told you we would launch them tonight. That means I'm still working on them, but I wanted to get them out to you guys. We have our new store. I'm going to update I haven't updated our command for store yet, but there we go. In the new website, it's our new hub for anything we got going on. We're going to have a lot of new content hitting that. Also, ActionLab HQ is going to be live. ActionLab HQ for all of your stuff that you want to purchase when it comes to hats, shirts, stuff. I got some gear on right here.
Let's go. I'm wearing no gear.
We got all sorts of stuff. So make sure you guys go check that stuff out.
I feel like when I'm wearing it, it sets too high a bar expectation wise. Like, it's not going to look that good on you guys. But it'll still be nice. It'll be good.
And again,
anyway,
I'll be tweaking them. They'll be looking nicer and nicer as time goes on. I just wanted to get them out there. Like, no sense in waiting, guys. Let's get after it. Some ways to support the channel tonight. We can get after it when it comes to, just your, the birthday girl, Cuban. Happy birthday to G Girl. Happy birthday.
G Girl, happy
Let's go.
23rd birthday. It's a big event.
Yes.
That felt like a good guess.
Guys, spam happy birthday for G Girl.
I know she can drink. She's old enough to drink, so I assume she was probably 22, turned 23. Big birthday for G Girl, guys. Spam it in the chat. Happy birthday to G Girl as she hits her 23rd birthday, which Chris, I don't even remember being 23.
Can we spam the celebrate emote if you're
G Girl? It was in my title. Yeah, I missed that one. All right. I'm not. If you got to know me, I'm not an observant person. There was one time in my office at my work where literally someone parked their bike in my office and I didn't notice for 2 days that it was there.
Come on, man.
There was a bike in my office, Chris, and I didn't know. Know.
So yeah, let's celebrate. But look at all those spamming, those celebrating lab rats there. Let's go. Big bad, and in the house, in the Hauser. Welcome in.
Hauser.
By the way,
thank you so much for
all
that
of you
follow.
Guys are giving us the Shaq shimmies. Make sure you hit that follow button. If you have not already, thank you so.
That is the follow button, Chris.
And let us know who your teams are and where you're from. We like to get to know each and every single one of you a little bit better. We want to know. We have a lot of fans from all sorts of different fan bases. So let's hear it. Let's hear it. Guys, yeah.
We're going to talk about sports at some point here, guys.
No.
I promise.
Let's go.
Casually average. Scotty, you're joking about the bike, right? Because I have the same problem. No, I am not joking at all. Literally, there was a bike placed in my office for 2 days. I did not notice. And then that coworker proceeded to leave it in my office where I made a fake Craigslist post. I didn't actually put it on Craigslist, but I made a post like it was on Craigslist and sent it to her, letting her know, like, I'm selling your bike. I'm selling it.
Only you, Scotty, says Football Wife.
Yeah, I'm not an observant person, guys. You can get pretty much anything by me. I don't pay attention to my surroundings whatsoever.
Hey, it's a fridge. Bear Nation, Ontario, Canada. We have a lot of Canadian folks in our chat, by the way. You're going to feel right at home. But we don't have a lot of Bears fans, so that's fantastic that you're coming in. Bears fan coming in hot. Let's go. I'm sorry, I haven't followed until now. Not sure what I've been doing. No, neither have us.
I mean, where have you been?
Come on, man. What are we doing? No, welcome in the Hauser. I hope we're thrilled to have you. We're thrilled to have you. We're gonna dive in here real quick. I wanted to, I'm gonna pull down the music here. We have a little bit of
Is there music?
There's music. We always have some music. You just can't ever hear.
I can't hear anything, Chris.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
Goodness.
This is our first stream, guys. Welcome to the ActionLab. I'm just kidding.
We want to just pull down the music here because we have something a little bit important that we want to say before we get started here, and it's pretty important. Only because you guys are important. You and your community that we've built a fantastic, community, and you guys look out for each other. You guys love each other. We love you. You love us. And, it's just one big happy family each and every single time we jump on. This is the highlight of our week, Scotty, when it comes to our spare time and what we want to do. We talk about you guys. We care about you guys. We had something unfortunate happen this past week that we just got confirmation with over the last couple of days. And it's not exciting for us to share this news. And it's hard for us to share this news. One of our lab rats that we have had since the beginning has passed away. Moab, who has had a lot of things that have been going on, from his health and everything else. Our Houston diehard, right? It's hard, man. He's
yeah, I mean it's crazy because we wouldn't have even known without this community. There were people in our community that let us know. We wouldn't have had contact to know. We heard about it. We were like, is this real? Did this really happen? We were aware of some some difficulties and some health situations with him, but Moab was one of our OGs, one of our originals. He was always a lot of fun on the chat. He's a Texans fan, but always kept. He was more than willing to make fun of his Texans' poor performance on the field. Our running joke was he had never had Chick-fil-A, and we're like, Moab. He was like, I live 2 miles from one. I've never had it. I'm like, just get yourself some Chick-fil-A. My hope now is that Moab is having all the Chick-fil-A that he wants or needs up in heaven. But honestly, Chris, it blew us by surprise. It's kind of surreal. I don't know. As you build a community, and we've had some tough situations in this community already spring up in the past couple months, but it just kind of hits home. You're like, wow, how did this happen? What happened? A guy that was a ton of fun on our stream and was always upbeat and positive and had a good attitude, despite, he could have been very much the alternative, Chris. He had a lot of health issues that could have made him very, bitter and sad and angry or whatever. But he lived life to the fullest.
Yep.
Outside of watching our stream, that was probably his low point of the week, I would imagine. But honestly, it was rough to hear. Sucks to hear.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy to think that, you guys, we see you guys. We haven't met you guys in person. We haven't seen you guys, in real life or anything else, but like, you guys mean a lot to us. So when we heard this, it was just really unfortunate for us. We never want to hear that. So we'll drink to Moab tonight. Hopefully he's having that Chick-fil-A in the sky. Like, yeah.
And Moon Princess makes a good point. She's like, it sucks so bad. He was such a good guy. But hopefully his family can take comfort that he's not in pain or suffering anymore. I mean, he had a ton of pain and a ton of suffering. And now hopefully he's just living his best life, you know?
So
doesn't have to deal with that anymore.
Guys, send good vibes. Just think about him a little bit tonight. Hug your loved ones a little bit closer. You just never know, when bad things happen, And so we are going to do everything we can to support. If like I'm working with Marie, trying to get some details, information and details so we can do something for Moab. So guys, thank you.
If you guys, we're hoping we can reach out to them and support them, Moab's family or whatever. So if you want to send us a DM where you want to like send some money as well, I promise we will get that to the family if you want to. No pressure, obviously, like whatever. But if that's something you feel called to, like, reach out to us, let us know. We're reaching out to figure out how we can help. So we'll send that along if we can, if you want to.
And I know, Moab's checking us out, right? He's watching the stream live. He's going to be with us each and every single time we go live, along with all of you guys. And he would want this show to keep going on, like, making fun of his Texans and giving him, giving him shit for not being able to have Chick-fil-A. But
I mean, I bet he's eating so much chicken right now, Chris.
Oh, he's eating
and it makes me actually really happy. It makes me really happy in that sense.
So big ups to Moab. We love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well up there, and we miss you. So that being said,
how do we transition from that?
Let's transition to some sports, right? So sports, thank you guys. By the way, you guys are just absolutely flooding the chat here with like tons of love and comments. So, it means the world to us that you guys are so close. So thank you so much for being just the best community on earth. Like, you guys mean the world to us. So let's get the music back up though. Hey, let's get it going. And let's get on with this show, man. We have a lot to talk about. And again, support the channel. Anytime you want to support the channel, go ahead and hit us with a follow. Hit us with a link, your Twitch and Amazon Prime, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Hit us up on our socials. I have some fun social stuff coming up this week. So there you go. There's all our socials. But
show me one of those socials. And Chris, I don't know if we'll talk about it tonight, but like we're going to be on Thursday night. Well, we'll be on, of course, Wednesday, our normal Wednesday show. We'll also be on Thursday, but we're going to feature we have our bingo on Sunday nights, Chris, right? I think we're going to feature a new game that incorporates on Wednesday and Thursday. So you got to be here for both if you want to get involved, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited to present it and talk about it. It's going to be a lot of fun, Chris.
It's going to be fantastic, guys. We have so much in store for you this Thursday and Sunday. We have bingo coming back Sunday, all these things. So make sure you guys are joining in and being a part of that as well. All right. So thank you so much for sharing the news with us. Happy to honor his memory and roast you guys for him. Do it. Yeah. I need you guys to roast us.
Roger. As much as he made fun of the Texans, he probably made fun of us more, Chris. And I loved every part of it. He was awesome.
It's crazy, man. I got all misty-eyed talking about that a little bit. So, it's hey, we love you, buddy. All right, so let's dive in. We have a lot to talk about tonight. This might be the best show we've ever had. So we're going to hit you with it. Scotty, is this the best show we've ever had?
I literally am. I mean, Chris, I get giddy when NFL's like, I appreciate the college football that occurred this past weekend. I liked it. But to me, NFL's a whole different level. I get giddy, Chris. And day of, I have a weird trait. I've never shared this with anybody on the stream. I get excited to the point where, like, on game day, like Chiefs game day, in the morning I wake up and I'm like in the shower or I'm like doing whatever, and I start patting my head really quickly. I don't know why, Chris. I don't know why. It's how I move the excitement. Yeah, no, I've never shared this with you, Chris.
No,
I don't.
This is the first time I've heard
this. This is embarrassing. But literally, my wife is like, "Oh, why don't you get excited for like so and so like you do for the Chiefs football game?" But I'm just like, I can't control it. I just pat my head, Chris, because that's how I move the energy of and the excitement. So I'm here. This stream is going to be great. Wednesday is going to be great. Thursday is going to be great. Sunday is going to be great. Hang with us. Chill with us. We're going to have so much fun. I'm so damn excited.
Oh, in the house is continuing the sub. Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you, in the Hauser.
In the Hauser. I love it. I love
Continuing on that.
All right, let's dive in. Before we dive into all the NFL news, we want to get into some of the college football action that took place yesterday, actually. And there was a lot to go. By the way, look at this. 3 days, 18 hours, 9 minutes, and 32 seconds, Scotty. Oh, my goodness. Let's go. 3 days?
That's it. I'm trying to avoid I'm avoiding the bad energy about my beard in the chat. I'm doing my best here, guys. This is for you.
Yes.
3 days. 3 days, Chris. 3 days. When I don't know if we can go back to know when we started this countdown, but it was over 100 days ago, right?
Oh, it was like, way back in the day, and Football Wife's gonna not.
We're here.
She's excited to not see that countdown.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
Football Wife's probably tapping her head right now, I would imagine. Just like me, we're of the same ilk. Ilk is a fun word.
Yeah, exactly. No, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. So I can't wait. I know you guys have been looking forward to it. So with that being said, let's dive. We need to get to football. So that means we got to get to the college football first. And we had some games yesterday that were just all over the place, Scotty. We had Georgia come in and absolutely destroy Oregon. It wasn't even close. Then you had the Gators upsetting Utah, which, that was another one too. That was another big one that, we knew was going to be close. We were previewing that. We were like, this could be one of the best games of the weekend. Came down to the wire. Then you had the Notre Dame Ohio State game as well. That one was a very interesting game in the first half. First half was,
it was interesting throughout.
Pretty competitive. And then it started to get a little bit more blown open as we went through. So first great week one of college football. There was a lot of fun stuff to check out, a lot of takeaways. But Scotty, what were some of the games that you noticed, and what were some of the things that caught your eye in this week one when it came to who stood out, who you thought they were? We got the Bears, right? They are who we thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
But some people didn't let them off the hook. Some people did. Who let them off the hook, Scotty?
There were no Pac-12 team was let off the hook.
Ooh,
the biggest storyline here is the Pac-12 had an awful offseason, right? They had the announcement that USC and UCLA are leaving for the Big Ten. And then you have your probably two best football teams in your conference featured as two of the top probably 3 games or 4 games maybe this weekend, when you're talking about Oregon against Georgia and Utah against Florida. Pac-12, SEC, let's show the country that we are still a legitimate conference. And I try and be an Oregon fan. They lost, check my math, Chris, was it 1 million? Did they lose by 1 million?
They lost by a couple million, actually.
It felt like 1 million. Utah favored on the road at Florida with a new head coach and a team. I knew that game was going to be close, but Utah losing that one in the fashion they did. The biggest storyline to me is the Pac-12 didn't come out and find retribution and we're going to stick it to USC and UCLA for the decision they made. No, they fell on their face. And I actually saw Colin Cowherd tweet something USC made the right decision. Look at these teams. And literally, I'm pretty sure the last time USC played an SEC school, they lost like 52-6. So, congrats USC for literally being located in Los Angeles. That's the only reason that teams want you, that like conferences want you, because you're not good either. Like, let's not get it twisted. USC the last decade has been kind of trash as well, but they're fortunate enough to be in this so-called market. By the way, Chris, did you see UCLA's attendance this weekend for their home game?
I
know it was against a bad game. There was no way there were 5,000 people there, Chris. Like, it was embarrassing. And everyone in LA is like, well, it was hot and we have beaches. We have beaches and oceans, and no one else in the world has any of these things that we have. We're the greatest. Why would we go to a college football game? Shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut up. I don't care about your beaches. I don't care about anything. LA does not. The ironic thing is LA does not support college football. They don't. They don't even support the NFL, really. And they have the world champions. It's so annoying. It's annoying to me, Chris. I get why the Big Ten wants to pick these teams up. It makes sense. I'm sure a lot of people watch it on TV, but do they show up in person? Hell no. Hell no. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's not great. It's not. It's. Colin Cowherd had a couple of tweets that came out that were just like, I think it was something about like saving the timeouts, and that was getting a lot of a run in Twitter about, you know, holding on to those, and they should anyways. So I mean, that's not that big of a deal, but he had a couple tweets that he was getting a lot of attention for. By the way, you know, there was a couple other crazy games that popped up too. Did you see the craziness of that? What was it? The Appalachian State
and
North Carolina.
Yeah.
63-61. Mountaineers outscored the Heels 40-22 in the fourth quarter, but failed to convert on two-point conversion attempts in the final minute. Appalachian State's 61 points are tied for the sixth most in regulation loss. In a regulation loss in the AP poll era since 1936. So imagine scoring 61 points and losing a game. I mean, that's just out of control. But hey, this game had everything. It was all over the map. And Appalachian State is kind of known for early season heroics. They've had a big upsets early on in their school history. Michigan,
that was their marquee win.
That was their marquee win, but they're always competitive in, you know, this first couple weeks of the NFL, the college season, and so this didn't disappoint either. This one was wild.
Chris, my biggest takeaway, ironically, from this one is one, yeah, it's shocking to score 61 points and lose. Obviously. Crazy, wild. But what's more shocking is you score 61 points and you fail on your last two-point two-point conversions? How did you fail on those two? Both of them? You put up 61 points and couldn't get it in from the 2-yard line in one play? You put up 61 points.
Yeah.
What play calls were you running? What happened there? Yeah, but either way, wild game, wildly entertaining. Not like another affair we might talk about, Chris.
By the way,
7-3 or something. No touchdowns.
Let's get to these, right? So let's actually we're gonna pivot to a couple things here. We're gonna pivot to a couple things. One of which, here, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure I have these all queued up the right way. Because
while we're at it, Milwaukee's USC playing in the Big Ten in October. Have fun, pretty boys. Yeah, forget October. How about November? It's going to be a disaster. I've said it time and time again. USC didn't make the move because they want to win national championships. They made the move for money. And I get that. Fine. But is this going to help that program be better off? Winning national championships? Hell no. Hell no. Those kids have never even seen cold weather, and now they're going to go play in cold weather? No, they're not. They're going to lose. They could be the far superior team, and they will lose because they don't want to play in the cold.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, with this, I want to go in and I want to share a couple things that came out of this college football season or this week 1. And what better way to do that than to look at some Twitter and just see what's going on in the Twitter
check out
world.
the phone.
Let's check out the phone.
Check out the iPhone, Chris, right? Not an Android. That'd be embarrassing.
So, speaking of the Appalachian State, did you see them get murdered on this play? Look at the Appalachian State players. Absolutely getting destroyed. Like, all of them laid out right here. And taking it back to the, getting the...
Well, and Rex said it. He's like, my school used the App State game as an example of why not to return an onside kick. Yeah, the North Carolina guy that caught this should have just fallen to the ground and the game was over. Instead, he scored a touchdown. App State then scored another touchdown and had like a chance theoretically. It was a mistake on that point, but it's a college kid excited to score it. But oh my goodness.
Like they get smashed.
They were not ready for anyone to hit them. They were running after the football, which I respect, but they were like not coached up like, hey, there's other guys across the field that might hit you, by the way. It's a sport called football, and it's possible that they might make contact with you.
Oh my gosh. I saw this highlight and I was just like, dang.
I could watch that over and over again.
Oh, it was brutal. So there was this aspect of this game that was just a little just eye-opening here with how they conducted this play. Number 2, I want to show you this. This was not a highly watched game, but take a look at this guy. Iowa scored exactly 7 points. The Hawkeyes didn't score a touchdown. Keep that in mind. Iowa is the only team to score exactly 7 points without a touchdown since at least before 2000. 2 safeties and a field goal is what put 7 points on the board for Iowa. How insane.
I'll let you in on a little secret that maybe most people don't know about. ESPN lost the early Big Ten 10 a.m. contract with the Big Ten, I believe. And they lost it because no one wants to watch Iowa at 10 a.m., Chris. This is why. They're so awful to watch. They're so boring. They win in the worst of fashions.
Well,
they're like literally going back in time and flashing to an awful football program that just runs it, punts it, scores maybe 7 points and wins on defense, I guess. Whatever. It's the worst. Chairman, speaking of the worst, Chairman, we agree a lot, Chairman. Chairman comes out and says, I don't have an iPhone. I'm an adult. 2 things. He didn't spell adult right, so we're questioning all of that. But what? What are you saying, Chairman? Don't hop on Chris's bandwagon of this Android. It's embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing.
Hey, it's
know what?
Embarrassing. I mean, again,
iPhone is clearly the direction to go. Don't embarrass yourselves. Just keep it out of the chat. Yeah, that football watch like slap, Chairman. Thank you,
Chairman.
It's
there's
actually
something we
I don't
finally
even want to slap him. I just feel bad. It's a sad story. Like you just I like Android and
Chairman.
Okay. If you don't like people developing apps for you because it's not a product that people care about, then get an Android. I don't know.
Something we agree on, Chairman. So there we go. I'm an Android user happily. So I have.
He's not actually happy. He's just like he's built it up at this point where he has to stay. He's trapped. Chris is trapped.
Reckoning or Devil Doc.
In hell.
Maybe we throw like a poll, iPhone or Android in the chat.
I don't think that's gonna go the way you want it to.
I don't think it
Chris.
will either. There's a lot of iPhone folks out there. So by the way, let's go ahead. I want to go back up to a couple things. Keep in mind, Iowa won this game 7-3. Like I know we've been talking about it. Iowa won this game, which is insane to like mind-boggling. This is almost close to the Packers. Sorry, Milwaukee's. Almost close to the Packers losing.
I mean, if you're an Iowa fan, are you happy? Are you happy? Are you pleased? Are you excited that your team couldn't score a touchdown, but got like 2 safeties and a field goal or something stupid like that?
Also, let's hit up the next. Let's scroll a little bit more. Arizona. This is a fun one. blocks their own punt, and SDSU, San Diego State, scores a touchdown off of it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this one live. Is this kind of similar to, butt fumble, except butt punt here, Scotty?
I mean, this is the first time I've seen or heard of this, but this makes a lot of sense. The moment you mentioned Arizona, I'm like, this can't be good.
This can't be good at all.
Can't be good at all. I mean, it's kind of good in the sense like it's entertaining.
He just punts it off his own guy here and trips, and it gets tripped, like flips off of his own lineman there. So there's that. This is well executed. Well executed.
I mean, this literally shouldn't happen in the third grade, Chris. I don't know what to say outside of Arizona is third grade level. Why are you, when you're punting from your end zone, maybe adjust your formation. Maybe don't have a guy standing right in front of your guy. That's 300 pounds, by the way. It's a 300-pounder standing right in front of your punter when he only has like 8 yards to punt with because you're backed up at your 1 yard line. This was actually the best case scenario, Chris, for Arizona.
this is meant to happen.
I mean, San Diego State was probably going to score a touchdown either on the punt return or a play later. This was, at least now you can blame it on special teams, which everyone, it's like, oh, it's a happenstance. No, Arizona is... Chris, we have some bad D1 programs here in Colorado. Arizona,
it's bad, man.
Trumps them all. Like, they're so bad at football now. So bad.
Yeah, they stink 100%. Yeah, that nearly is a butt punt. I don't think that blocker was expecting or wanting that kind of penetration, says Casually Average. And Cuban says that was in the playbook. Don't worry.
It might have been. Like I said, it might have been to their advantage to just do it this way.
I've never seen a team rough their own punter, says Chairman.
And then, worst off, the blocker you have that gets hit with the punt and takes out the punter, then misses his block.
He missed the block.
He misses the block, Chris.
And he falls down. It's like, oh no.
It's an unmitigated disaster across the board.
It's
56. Can't show himself on campus, and if he can't say what number he is.
It's bad. I mean, it's really bad. It's just
Pac-12. Pac-12 has some issues, Chris. They're gonna have to figure it out, and by that I mean I don't know what the hell they're gonna do because that conference is gonna be in shambles.
Vote. We have actually interesting. Android 6 votes, iPhone 4 votes, and 1 I don't care. Interesting.
This is my last show, Chris.
You're done.
If this is the audience we're catering to, I don't want to be a part of it. How in the hell do you choose Android over iPhone? And I'm not saying iPhone's perfect, but Android. I literally work in a company where they're like, they haven't really developed the app for Android yet because why would you? Literally, Android's a second thought to developers. But in this group, this community, apparently, I don't think of you guys as a second thought. I appreciate you all.
Oh, there you go. See, let's see. Apple sucks low key, but the phone is easier, says G Girl.
Yeah, I'm not saying Apple's great, but just don't succumb to the sadness that is an Android.
Let's also, by the way, Colorado State was in the news here. Well, not in the news, but they were just playing in action against a big time opponent, Michigan. By the way, I was looking at some of the stats here and some of the headlines when it came to Colorado State, our boys here locally. And we expected more, but we knew they were going to lose this game. It was just like, were they going to keep it close in the first half? Not. So went to the big house. Colorado.
Yeah, go ahead.
Colorado State has lost 22 straight games against AP-ranked teams since their last such win over 7th-ranked Colorado in 2002.
Really put a beating on Colorado that day as well.
Man.
Yeah, Chris, listen, like, I jokingly sent a message to our favorite Uncle John we just hung out with when CSU had the first defensive possession of the game and Michigan went 3 and out. I'm like, all right, I'm convinced. How many points does CSU win this game by? They lost by 44, Chris. They lost 51-7. It didn't work out. Colorado college football is so sad.
It's so sad.
I've said it time and time again. I went to CSU, but I grew up like my favorite live college football game ever was CU Nebraska when Nebraska was number 1 back in like early 2000s and CU was like number 10 and they put a 62-36 beating on Nebraska. That was the best live game I've ever been to. Ever. But it's just so sad out here. Like I'm of the ilk, like literally I would cheer for CU if they were good. I absolutely would.
Yeah.
I just want a team to be good in Colorado.
Air Force is our best team
it's
that
almost
we got.
impossible. Well, but Air Force is
And they're not going to
they have a very low ceiling, Chris. They can win, but their ceiling is so low.
It is so
low.
Yeah, true. I mean, they're not going to go and compete for maybe a playoff spot. And
in the Hauser, I'm rethinking my sub now with Android winning that poll. I'm rethinking being a part of this stream in the Hauser. I'm with you. I'm rethinking everything right now. I'm like trying to evaluate like where have we gone wrong as a community where we allow Android to win anything.
Yeah, that's the world. It's the world we're living in. Real quick, we had some questions about Georgia, by the way. Georgia, obviously, they're ranked high, but we were like, oh, well, their defense, they lost a ton of guys.
All of them, basically.
Their offense. What's their offense? Their defense won the games last year for the most part, but their offense didn't look great. Georgia's the third team in the past 15 seasons to score a touchdown on each of its first 6 drives against a ranked opponent, joining Ohio State versus Michigan State last season, the first 7 drives, and South Florida versus Navy in 2016 for their first 6 drives. So let's just say they have a nice offense as well to go with their defense that is reloaded from what it looks like. They're holding Oregon to what they did. So crazy there. That's one thing. Then we also had the big matchup of the day. Ohio State has now won 23 straight season openers, the 3rd longest streak in the AP poll era. Now, I told you this on when we were previewing Ohio State and Notre Dame. I was like, man, I think Notre Dame can keep it close. And I said, maybe we just keep it to the first half spread. I like that. But I saw a stat the next day. I was listening to the radio going to the gym, and I heard a stat where Notre Dame against AP top 25 or top 15 opponents, I can't remember what they said, was like 10-50 against the spread all time. And I'm just like, damn, they are bad against high-ranked opponents. They're just bad against good teams. Like what?
Who is?
Notre Dame.
Yeah, but you bet on Notre Dame.
No, I liked them in the first half, knowing they were going to not cover the. Well, did they end up covering the? They covered. They covered.
Yeah.
Still losing those games, man. I'm just like, man, they can't win against the good guys, man. The good teams.
I mean, Chris, I love football in general. I have 3 young children, and I had to make a choice. So I didn't watch as much college football as I would have liked to yesterday because, that would equal divorce. If I spend all Saturday watching college and all Sunday watching NFL, it's not going to end well for me, Chris.
It's a trap.
So I choose NFL.
Yep.
Because that's my baby. That's my gold mine. And I will never be disappointed. And the problem is,
more subs so that Chris can get an iPhone. Ha 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 ha. Ha.
Yes, football wife.
Thanks, football wife, for the bits. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Football wife, just send it directly to me. Those funds in a DM because he will make the same mistake. He has not learned. He's embarrassingly still. It's more about his pride than anything. He knows it's a garbage product, but he's so prideful at this point. He's like, oh, I like this inferior product, and I'll stick with it. It's kind of sad. Thank you, football wife. Maybe throwing out some biddies. Thanks for the biddies, by the way.
It's pure excellence.
Chris, my problem with college football. People are gonna get bored of this. We had the number, Georgia was 2? 3?
Correct.
3 versus 11. The number in the country, Chris. There's a lot of college football teams, and we had 3 versus 11.
Football wife.
It was 49-3. Football wife coming through, helping fund Chris. Let's get a hype train going to help fund Chris get a real phone. Okay?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Football wife's done her part as she always does. She's incredible. If you're Dave, Dr. J, Crackback, Merciless, Mystic Death, which is interesting.
Incredible name.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome in. Thank you,
welcome.
Football wife. Thank for
Football wife, and we're all just trying to fund Chris becoming a real human being, guys, for the first time ever.
She is
grasping technology.
She's got triple digits in gifted subs of
unbelievable.
102. Look at that. Thank you
Chris,
so much.
We just need to send her some goods for that.
She won't let me. I'm trying.
Sure.
What
do you mean she won't let you? Football wife, I will hunt you down.
By the way, website and the store. The store is right there, Football wife. Choose something and we'll get it to you. Also, all of you guys, check it out. Make sure you guys join in. Devil Doc. Let's go.
Devil Dog coming through as well. Unbelievable, guys.
Wow.
So much interest in funding you getting an actual phone for the first time, Chris. I mean, you must love this, Chris. Like, you must be like, guys, you must love me so much to the point you're willing to gift these subs so I can fund getting a real life phone that actually operates.
We got nukes coming in, says Rec, and he's also got a little trivia for us once these run through, because he's been trying to get us some trivia. Here we go.
Trivia bet, same rules as last time. Gift subs if you both win. You donating to our show if you both get it wrong.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Yes, Chris, get a Galaxy, says Milwaukee's.
Milwaukee's almost banned at this point.
Reckoning, let's hit it. Milwaukee's, I love your sense of style.
Well, Milwaukee, we can't get all this money and then go and not spend it by getting a Galaxy, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but Androids, they pay you to get them, right, Chris? It's been a while for me, but I assume you get money in order to take the phone.
The customization, I mean, it's like having my own computer in my hand that just does everything. It's
certainly
molded,
customizable when you only have 5 people out there that have one. They're able to they can customize it.
I could do so much, you know. Chris, those new Galaxy flips look pretty cool. Hook it up. The flips are a little weird for me, but
the 5 fingers? Say to the face.
Slap Sky for me to hate her.
What? When have I not been a hater?
True. I mean, that's totally a... by the way, let's go ahead. We're going to get to our NFL picks here in a second. Don't go anywhere.
A lot of NFL predictions that you guys will want to hang around for. It's going to be good.
We have a hype train going. G-Girls keeping it rolling. Let's go.
Let's
Thank you
go,
for the
G-Girls.
Appreciate the love.
Biddies on biddies. Thank you so much, G-Girl.
We had one baseball highlight yesterday, and maybe highlight, maybe low light. Let's go ahead. And that was a broken up no-hitter, Scotty. Did you see this one?
Actually, no.
You didn't catch a lot of baseball yet. It was a big.
I try and avoid baseball right now, Chris. I work in baseball and I'm trying to avoid it.
A better poll: how many Android users have had to replace their Androids within a year of getting it?
Never. That doesn't happen. No, no. This guy, I've had my previous Android I had for like 4 years now.
But that's because you don't know that it doesn't work well. You're literally running on a system where you're like, it gets internet. That's neat.
It's a quality product that lasts. It tests it tests time and space and just keeps getting. I mean, you never have to replace it.
Yeah.
You know, it's what it is. But.
It's so depressing. It's sad. It's sad to even put out there. I feel bad for you, Chris.
All right, here we go. Hold on.
I had an Android and it fried when I got electrocuted by an alpaca fence.
An alpaca fence. That's an interesting.
That checks out.
That checks out.
That sounds legit.
That's a strange one. Thank you for the bits. All of you guys, thank you. In the Hauser, G Girl, appreciate it. And thank you so much for all the support. All right, so we have Reckoning's question here. What delayed a college football game yesterday? A, 3 streakers at once. B, coaches getting stuck in an elevator. C, ambulance being late to the stadium. Or D, pyrotechnics burned the away team's end zone. Now, D is very... I mean, I could see...
how do you make up D? If D is not a real-life story, how do you make that up?
I feel like D is such a... That's such a fail that I didn't realize.
We're getting B and C, though? We're getting another B?
Coach is getting stuck in an elevator. I can see the elevator thing, but
that
like
wouldn't
all
even,
the
be a
coaches
story.
don't walk together everywhere they go, right? So I want to eliminate B.
Yeah, they actually isolate. They isolate like iPhone coaches go down together, and then Android coaches go down together in shame, Chris, shame. We got a lot of B's here. We got an A. Literally, we both were like, D sounds like totally.
Nobody has said D,
but no one else has been D.
I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go D, but like, well, Scotty, what do you want to go?
Well, I'm not gonna go D with you because that's. I at this point, I'd just like to push Chris.
Okay.
On this bet,
I'll go D, and you pick the next.
You guys, hey. Spam in the chat. What do you guys think? A, B, C, D?
3 streakers at once seems like that's a quick, like, tackle them, get them out. I don't think that's going to delay a game a lot.
They're literally sword fighting out there, though, Chris. That could be...
we need to get... I don't even... I won't even go there.
Oh, boy. I was not prepared for this response. Jalen Action Jackson, which... really fun name. I like the name a lot. Mr. Scott, which I appreciate calling me Mr. To bust your bubble about iPhone, Samsung made the OLED display in AMD flash and DRAM chips in the iPhone. It's currently the only company capable of manufacturing these items at the volume that Apple needs, which means Apple has to buy the parts from Samsung, which would only back up my point more, Chris. If that's true, if that is true, and I don't know if it is, it very well could be. I don't know. Who is advising Samsung to do this? Why would you make parts and give parts to Apple if you could put them out of business?
I mean,
that doesn't make any sense at all, Chris. That actually angers me more than anything so far.
Making that money.
If that's true, and Samsung is developing all these parts that Apple is reliant on.
Hold on. Pirates get their
and they
second-hand stores.
Pirates get their hook second-hand store. Yes.
But literally, like if that's true, and Samsung has all these parts that Apple's reliant on to function, why? On God's green earth, would you give it to him? Why sell it to him? That doesn't check out, Chris. That's the BS meter we've run before a long time ago. I say hella BS on that.
2 reasons. 1, they're making money off it. 2, they feel sorry for everybody else.
You think they could make money off of Apple being out of business on phones? Wouldn't that be better?
We're getting so off the rails with this conversation. It's great.
We always get off the rails. I get angry, Chris. I get angry.
I know you get fired up. But we did. So you need to pick your answer, by the way, for rec.
What the Say to the face.
I was gonna go with the chat. What did the chat say?
Chat was going. A lot of people liked B. There's a couple B's.
Which one was B? That wasn't the nudist, right?
That was the coaches getting stuck in an elevator. No one's really given C a lot of love. There's G Girl said C, but like she was the only one.
What was C?
C was the ambulance being late to the stadium.
I don't love that one either. I'll go B.
Okay. All right. So B and D are our answers.
Rec. Tell me I saved us.
While Rec is getting that confirmed, We push.
We
Chat helps
push.
y'all. Yeah.
Was it B? Was it B?
Was it B?
Because by chat helped. I don't think D was even a part of. No one liked D in the chat.
Let's see.
Just a whole YouTube clip.
Let's see. There we go. One thing we can all agree on, if it's not phones, it is one thing, and that is this. Let's go ahead and switch this up. Last Sunday without football until February 2023.
Oh,
Let's go.
Yes!
That's
Hell yeah!
I'm hyped for that. I'm hyped that I saved us, Chris, with the B. It's kind of just what I do.
Let's go!
Just save us from embarrassment. But more importantly, last Sunday, Chris.
Last Sunday.
And we literally have a Thursday. An elite Thursday game. We get Sunday football. We have a Sunday night we'll be on for with who's Sunday night? I think it's Bucks Cowboys. But Thursday night we'll be on Rams Bills. Like, oh my goodness, Chris. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
It's going to be incredible here. Oops. Whoa. Hold on one second. Let's get back here. Hold on.
Yeah, you're jumping the gun here. Are we doing this one first?
No, we're not. I just didn't adjust
Neat.
my. So you guys are going to get a little bit of a preview here. We're just going to go ahead and turn that off. Let's get that out of there. All right. So with that being said, we have some playoff predictions for you guys. So, and actually, I need to update. What are we at? 139.
None of these players are making it outside of Kelsey, right?
Kelsey? Yeah.
Kelsey's
maybe.
making it. Avi.
All right. So I have this broken out with our first initial, picks here, yours and mine, and then we will reveal our Super Bowl winners on the second go round. So with that being said, we have a lot to talk about here when it comes to these. Now, by the way, guys, if you guys are here, we are going to be going live this Thursday. This Thursday, we want you to be there. We have a fun new game that we are going to play with you guys. Now, you guys know Sundays, we do our bingo. We like to gift out subs. Let's go. We like to gift out subs for every bingo that we get. We create the bingo card. You guys play along with us every Sunday, but we wanted to do something fresh for you on Thursday night. We have a new look for Thursday Night Football, and we have a new game for you and chat, all of you guys, for Thursday Night Football. Scotty, I want you to go ahead. You came up with this idea. I loved it, and I can't wait for us to just announce it here. Big announcement here on this stream for Thursday Night Football. Go ahead.
Yeah, to start, the key is be here Wednesday. We obviously have our Wednesday show. That's the start of it. So what we are going to do, we're going to play a little game. We're going to do a little fantasy football with that Thursday night game. So Wednesday night, we are going to do a little Chris and I versus the chat in fantasy football going into Thursday. So Wednesday night, maybe we'll trade off. Let's say you guys get the first pick. Chris and I get second and third. You get fourth and fifth. So on and so forth. On a fantasy draft, only involving the players on Thursday Night Football. So you'll draft a quarterback, you'll get one running back, a couple wide receivers, tight end, kicker, defense, so on and so forth. But we'll put in the chat to vote on what player you as a community want to vote on Wednesday. And then on Thursday night, we'll have it live on stream. We'll put that out there on our screen. We'll be battling back and forth. We'll get some stakes involved. We're trying to figure out what stakes we want involved for sure. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So Wednesday night, be here so you can vote on who should represent you as a community in your fantasy team on that Thursday night game. And if by some crazy happenstance you're able to beat Chris and I, it'll be worth it. But we'll have Football Wives strip bingo at Mackey's house. That is where it could lead, Chris. I don't know. It could get wild.
Yeah. No.
But I'm excited for it, Chris. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hang out Wednesday with us. Vote on the players you want on your squad, and then watch with us on Thursday and see how we do. Back and forth. Even if the game's not close, the fantasy football game might be close between you guys and us.
Fantasy football is I mean, you don't have to have a dog in the fight. Your team may not be playing. It doesn't matter. You're rooting for players to do certain things, right? So, we are going to go head to head with you guys. Scotty and I will go head to head, and we want to see if you guys can beat us. So,
They probably go winless, Chris. The community goes winless.
There's no shot they could beat us in fantasy football.
So. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, Sediment Experience, thanks for the gift. By the way, Sediment, welcome in. Who's your team and where are you from?
I was
welcome
excited
in.
to hear Apple might start selling its own cars until I learned they wouldn't support Windows.
Yeah, there you go, Double Doc.
I like it. That's nice.
Strip steak says McDuggets. It's essentially like NFL playoff challenge. Kind of, yeah. You're picking, guys to get more stats than what, yeah.
For example, this coming up this week, we'll do it on Wednesday. Let's say the stream gets the first pick. You can have your pick of Josh Allen or Matt Stafford, or you can go Cooper Kupp or Stephon Diggs with your first, like whoever, running backs out there, tight ends out there. We'll go back and forth. We'll have some fun with it on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, it gets down to business, and that's when Chris and I dominate you with our superior team.
That's right. It's simple as that. Reckoning says hot ones, where you take a wing for every wrong prediction, says Reckoning.
I'm so down for some hot ones features on here. I'm down for it. You know you are too.
Oh, yeah.
You are. Milwaukee, do the Bills or Rams have any X-Packers? No. Stay out of this, Milwaukee, with your Packer. Just
dominance.
Just so much affection for Packers. Milwaukee in our fantasy football league, if you don't know, he's a Packers fan. He literally, the entire bench is like, has the same bye week because all of his bench is the Packers.
Bruh.
It's all Packers. And I think he has like a Packer or two in his starting lineup.
Yeah.
Just to boot. He's not going to be able to field a roster one week, which I might not either, but it wasn't because of fandom, Chris. It was just a slight oversight.
Luke, what's up, Luke? How we doing, my friend? First time chatter. Welcome in, Luke, everybody, as well. Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you guys.
10 more subs and you have to take a wing with the last dab during hot ones.
All right, perfect. Well, actually, yeah, I can.
That's you, Chris, right? That's you doing
You know
that?
what? You do 10 more subs. I will do the last dab and I'll do the bomb. I'll do 2 for 1. You get 2 for 1.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean,
the bomb is
special. This sort of special doesn't come around often.
The bomb is hotter than the last dab, and I have both of them in my fridge as we speak now. So let's make it happen,
guys. Let's get to 10 more subs. Let's make this happen. Let's go. Let's watch Chris cry on camera. Okay?
Yeah,
because he will.
No,
he will,
and it won't be just a little dab.
The only good news is, like, Chris, I've had to carry you throughout this stream every time, so it's not gonna be it's gonna be normal for me. I'm joking. Chris carries me. If I was literally on stream by myself, I don't even know where my direction would head. I'd have no direction, and I'd talk about God knows what, but it'd be concerning.
We compliment each other well, Scotty. We do well for each other.
Yeah.
Coming from G Girls Community, Luke, who's your team? I'd like to get to know you. Uzi, what's up, buddy? How you doing? What's up? Boys, Eagles about to be powerhouse this year. Jalen is
who said that? Uzi. Yeah, we're gonna get into our
Let's dive in now.
Full playoff predictions and awards section of the NFL. We're diving into it right now, actually. And Uzi, I'm kind of on board with you a little bit.
Okay, here we go. 1 down, 9 to go. Thank you so much. In the Hauser. Appreciate that.
Love. One out to Luke McFadden.
Jalen Action Jackson. Tom Brady's going to struggle since his lady left him just like Rodgers did in the beginning.
Wait, did his lady officially leave him?
I didn't see a report.
I've heard rumors of issues, and that's why he was away from the team. But there hasn't been like an official separation between Tom and Giselle, right? Not that I've seen.
No. But maybe I missed it. I don't know. If so, I haven't seen any reports, but who knows? Who knows? Nothing official, says Devil Doc. But all right, so let's dive into it here. Luke, I'm hoping Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns do good. We don't. Cleveland Browns.
That's a weird combination.
That's a weird combination. But yeah, hey, if those are the teams that you're looking for, go for it.
Just love the state of Ohio.
I've heard that all is not well with the Brady house, says the in-house. Yeah. Interesting.
Well, you've seen how Brady came back. It was either a bad plastic surgeon or he is emotionally a train wreck right now. It's one of the two, Chris. There's nothing in between. He came back and he looked facially different in a bad way. I think Brady welcomes the marriage talk, because what I think Brady had was plastic surgery in his face, and that's why he was away, Chris. That's how shallow I think Brady is.
Oh, it's so weird to see him like that.
I think it was literally plastic surgery gone wrong. It went wrong, Chris. It stayed wrong, and they're hiding it now, but like it's pretty obvious to me.
It looks bad, man. It looks bad.
I really don't understand plastic surgery in Hollywood or with celebrities. Everyone who gets it, it's so obvious, and it always looks bad, Chris. It always looks bad, but they don't see it somehow. They're just blinded by their fame or something. I don't know.
Well,
they're so afraid of looking old.
He is Hollywood,
that they would rather look like shit.
He's Hollywood, right? He needs to be in that public eye. He's got the supermodel wife, at least for now, I guess. I don't know. Who knows what's going on with that? But he's got to keep up. The tequila avocado drinks aren't going to do it by themselves. So he's got to figure out a way to adjust.
Have you had the made up tequila
I
avocado?
have not. Chris? I have not. I need to. Maybe I'll do it this weekend for week 1. But let's dive in. All right. Playoff predictions. We're going to go over mine first, and then we're going to go over to Scotty's. Then we're going to release our Super Bowl champions, because I think, we're just having just the overall bracket of what we think is going to happen with the seeds. And then we're going to dive into the actual Super Bowl champion.
Doc, Rec, whoever's here, if you don't mind registering these for later use, or maybe a poll in the chat after both of us reveal our picks and who the chat likes better with their picks moving forward. But
last thing, guys. Yeah. Exclamation point contest. I know we have a lot of new people right now in our chat. We have our Pick'em and we have our Survivor Leagues that are free to enter. You can win free ActionLab merchandise. We have a hoodie. We have all sorts of hats and shirts. The more people we have, the more prizes we give away. Our Pick'em links and our Survivor links are in the chat. Join in and make sure you are joining and having fun with us all season long. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of trash talking. Reckoning, can you put the Discord out there as well? Discord is where we are going to talk a lot of trash and have a lot of fun. We also are just connecting outside of the stream, so make sure you guys join in the Discord as well. Thank you guys so much. We can't wait to interact with you guys during the weekend of the NFL Week 1 season. It's coming up here. So here is my breakdown of my predictions going in. So let's start in the AFC. Now, I have the Buffalo Bills finishing as the number 1 seed here, so they will have that first round bye. Going in, Chiefs end up winning the division. I think the division winners here, the Chiefs, the Colts, the Bengals, and the Bills. So I have all of those. The wild cards, I have Broncos at the 6. Or I have the Broncos 6 seed, the Chargers 7, and the Ravens at 5. I think the Ravens will be there. Mackey's like, Broncos aren't going that far.
Chris knows this too. He has too much emotion involved.
I think the Broncos might surprise some people this year. It's a gamble, right? I think there's a couple teams that I gambled on a little bit more in my picks, but I think that there is a good chance that they can make a nice, run if they can get things together quickly. The problem I have with Denver currently is that they need to gel a little bit more that they didn't do in the early on stages. But with that being said, Bills, I think, are by far, an improved team. I think that they're going to be very, very good. I think the Chiefs are also the top of the AFC as well. So I think those two teams are going to battle out. We had an amazing game last year, like one of the best games we've ever seen in recent memory, that all of you guys remember this game. Chiefs and Bills. But Chargers, for me, Chargers is another one that is made this list. I have 3 teams from the AFC West. Chargers are getting a lot of hype. I reserve my right to make a Chargers a higher than 7 seed when they actually prove it to me that they're going to do it. Justin Herbert hasn't accomplished much in this league, and he's getting all the praise for being the best quarterback, and this team is stacked top to bottom. Prove it. I want to see it. And until you do, I'm going to have you guys at the bottom of this tier list at number 7. Do I think you're good? Yes. I think they improved on defense a little bit more. They still aren't as improved as I would like for them to be on defense. And I just think that the Chargers have a lot to prove. Mackie, what has Denver done? They haven't done much. They haven't had a quarterback. Now they do. They have a quarterback. Russell Wilson has only had 1 losing season since he's been in the NFL, and that was last year. That's it.
What year was it?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
Pretty damn good, if you ask me. And he was injured. His team was trash. Like his hand was all jacked up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just
were his legs broken? Because he only ran for like 100 yards last year. Were his legs also broken?
He does it with his arm, man. Does it with his arm.
That's not the Russell Wilson I remember. The Russell Wilson I remember did it with both. Chris.
But I will say, I think the Broncos have a nice chance. Maybe it is me being a homer a little bit, but I think that they have a nice chance.
I'm fine with you picking them to get in the playoffs. Them winning a playoff game, little homer probably.
Maybe that's a little homer. Maybe.
Which is fine. I'm a little homer as well, Chris. As we'll get into.
We'll get into your chat here in a sec. We got a lot of comments coming in through the chat. Colts, I think, win their division easily. I think that's a home run. That's a gimme. Bengals and Ravens is going to be an interesting one as well. Bengals and Ravens. Ravens are a very good regular season team, but I just think the Bengals just have an overall better, just defense, offense. They just feel more complete than the Ravens. The Ravens, I feel, can struggle what can they do throwing the ball downfield? They lost some weapons on offense when it comes to the wide receivers. So there's some aspects there that I don't think that I can put them quite over the Bengals yet. So with that being said, I had the Bengals winning that first round series against the Ravens in a divisional matchup. We got a divisional matchup with your Chiefs and the Chargers. Chiefs take that one. I think the Chiefs end up getting a nice matchup with the Bengals. I think the Bengals fall short this year. Bengals end up losing to the Chiefs. Broncos end up losing to the Bills, and we have a nice AFC championship matchup, which everybody wants to see.
Everybody wants that.
Everybody wants it, and we're going to give it to them with the Bills and the Chiefs. Now, I have something I think I might be a little different than you, but I have the Bills beating the Chiefs this year. I think last year, they...
Hold on. Is much more of a homer than when Pajoles took Bradledge deep, and that baseball still hasn't landed.
I'm actually fascinated by what you're going to say right now, Chris, regarding Chiefs and Bills.
Chiefs and Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills have such a sour taste in their mouth from last year of what they think should have happened. And they didn't execute. It was on the Bills. Realistically, they are the ones that, and the Chiefs also, played. The Chiefs won it. They won that game. The Chiefs did what they had to do. It's not like the Bills lost it. The Chiefs won it. It was the Chiefs that took control of that game. They did what they had to do, and the Bills choked down the stretch. I think those kind of games sit with the team. And do I think the Bills got really good over the offseason, or they stayed where they were, if not got better? Yes. Do I think that it's going to be a hell of a matchup? Yes. Do I think that the Bills have enough to beat the Chiefs and it's going to be a close game? Yes. And that's what I have here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills are the favorite to win it all. right now in Vegas, Chris. So
NFC.
get into your NFC. Yeah.
NFC surprise team.
While you talk real quick, because then I won't make it through mine. I'm gonna do a code yellow real quick.
NFC. We're going in here. So I got the number 1 seed being the LA Rams, the defending champions. They're still stacked top to bottom. They made a nice adjustment when it came to, losing some guys and adding some guys. They got Allen Robinson in. They lost Von Miller, but they still got Floyd. They still got Donald. They still got a lot of pieces on the secondary. They could do a lot top to bottom on both sides of the football. So, spam code yellow. Keep it going. So I think they take the 1 seed in a weak NFC. Now, I do think the Bucks will have a nice season based off of the fact that they're in just a bad division. They might lose to the Saints a couple times. The Saints and the Cowboys were the 2 teams that I was like, I could see either of these teams making it in. Now, considering the Cowboys had the season they had last year, they had the season where they won 12 wins. They had 12 wins last year, did well. I thought they had a really standout season. They choked. Did I think they got that much worse to where they can't make the playoffs this year? No, they're still good enough. The Saints D is very, very good, and Jameis Winston's a wild card, so I think that's the one thing that I was going back and forth with. So that was where Dallas came in. I think the Bucks get the win over Dallas. Going into the NFC East, the Eagles make it in. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. They have a lot of weapons, and I think Jalen Hurts, it's his turn to shine. If he doesn't get it done this year, I don't know what the Eagles need to do. But let's see. Then we got the San Francisco 49ers. They might be one of the more talented rosters in the entire NFC. They just need to figure out if the quarterback situation is going to be good enough for them. If it was Jimmy G, I think that they have consistency. I don't know. Trey Lance, he's making some mistakes early on. He's not looked as sharp, but can he get better? If he gets better in this Kyle Shanahan offense, I'm telling you, they could be a problem. I have them working out some details and making it through the season being a little tougher. I have them at the 6th seed with a chance to potentially make some moves. Minnesota and Green Bay coming out of the division as well into making the playoffs. I am high on Minnesota. They've got 2 of the better pass rushers in the NFL on their roster. If they stay healthy, they've had injury issues. If they stay healthy, their defense that they weren't very good in last year could be better this year.
Honest question. I know they have Danielle Hunter. Who's their other? I actually, that's a real question. I don't know.
On the Minnesota?
DN? Yeah.
Yeah, it's hold on one second. It's I have it right here.
I'm intrigued by that. I mean, I like Minnesota too.
It's I always forget his name. So they got Jordan Hicks. They got Danielle Hunter.
Yep.
They got Zadarius Smith in free agency.
Oh, that's right. They got Zadarius Smith from the Packers. That's fair. That's legit. Okay. If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy.
What? I'm fine with that.
Zadarius Smith. So if they stay healthy, that defense that was ranked in the bottom.
Is it Danielle? I'm not going to say Danielle. It's Danielle. He spells it like Danielle.
Their defense ranked in the bottom, like, 3rd. I think they were like 25th or something in the NFL last year overall. They were very good, but they were bad last year. And they got better with these pickups. And so I really liked what they did there. If they can get some pressure and stay healthy on defense, along with the offense that they have, Kirk Cousins, I feel like can be better. I think that they could do a lot of damage, and they could be, we already talked about liking them. They're going to potentially win this division outright, which is what I have here. And then I think they play Green Bay. I think Green Bay, I'm worried about the offense a little bit. Their defense is stout. I think their defense is going to be fantastic. I just don't know if they can get it done from I mean, I saw what they did last year in the playoffs, and it was terrifying. And they had good players that year at home. So sorry, Milwaukee's. I know.
He asked the question earlier: can division opponents play in the first round? Absolutely. It's all about record and seeding. So there's no limit to, like, you can't play a division opponent in the first round. 100%. That's not a real thing.
Yeah. So
and Reckoning is like it's pronounced Danielle Hunter. Then spell it Danielle. Then spell it Danielle because they spelled it and then he spelled it wrong and it's his fault.
Roger.
Or well, his parents' fault. They're to blame here.
So yeah, so I got the Vikings winning, I got the Bucks winning, playing each other. This is where I think the train runs out for Tom Brady. I think he's going to have an okay season. They're going to get in, they're going to win their division, but there's a lot of questions for me on an aging team. They're good on paper, but they're aging. I don't know if they can last the whole season with injuries. Godwin's coming off an injury. There's a lot of pieces that I don't know if I think they run out of gas realistically at some point in the playoffs and when they're playing some really good teams. So I think Minnesota is able to take advantage of that. They end up beating the Bucks. The Rams end up getting a nice division rival here in San Francisco. I think the Rams are I think Trey Lance can only take them so far. And I don't even know if Jimmy G's in the picture at this point. Who knows? That's going to be another aspect. But I think that the experience in the playoffs will catch up with Trey Lance. And I think the Rams experience will catch up with them as well. So they end up winning. Then you got a nice NFC championship matchup between the Rams and the Vikings. And I think the Rams take it to get back to their second straight Super Bowl. And I think, and I can't see what they're doing now. So that's what I have here. Real quick, I want to go back to the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Let's see. Indy is going to be there, says Mackie. What else do we have? Russell Wilson is entering his prime, says Cuban. I'm Ohio State Buckeyes fan, says Luke. Hey, there you go. Jalen, the Broncos at a 6 seed, making that far. The Chiefs not making the bowl. The Bills have that new OC, a career QB coach in Ken Dorsey, says Jackson. What else do we have here? Herbert's better than Wilson, says Mackie. Prove it. I'll just tell him just prove it first. And
then who said that? I mean,
Mackie.
No, Herbert's definitely better this year than Wilson. If you want to make a wager on like any sort of statistical thing between Herbert and Wilson this year, I will take it all day, every day. Herbert's going to be better.
Maybe. All right. When we're talking about maybe statistics, sure. Maybe when it comes to winning games, then yeah. So maybe we'll take a look at that. What else do we have here? Well, his predictions has 3-tier division playoff game not happening, says Milwaukee's. My favorite was Andrew Jones. Okay, great. So
Andrew Jones actually at least spells it, and you could say Andrew, and it makes sense.
All right,
like whatever Danielle Hunter's name is supposed to be pronounced as, which is stupid.
All right, Scotty.
Then just spell it that way.
So this is my picks. Let's get to yours.
Those are yours. Yeah.
Let's dive in. I'll let you roll.
I did not. You sent me yours, but I had mine already figured out here. So it's similar but different, which is important here. Yeah. So starting on the left side, I think the AFC is so much more difficult to project. The NFC to me is so less deep and top heavy. The NFC is nowhere near the conference the AFC is right now. I don't think it's controversial to say the AFC is a much better conference right now. Historically, that may not be the case, but right now, the AFC, I mean, it'd be hard to argue like Buffalo and Kansas City not being the top 2 teams. And then like when we're getting down to like playoff teams, it's kind of easy in the NFC. There's some other teams you could maybe argue to get in. There's a lot of AFC teams that I like a lot that had to leave out of this, to be honest. So starting with the AFC, I have Buffalo at 1. I think Buffalo's in a division that's not that great. They're gonna have a lot on their shoulders. They're built for it. They're gonna be the number 1 seed. I think Kansas City, despite their schedule, which is really, really hard, will be the 2 seed here. Getting to the 3, I think the Colts, again, in the South, I don't think the South is crazy difficult compared to the North, so that's why I lean Colts in the South. And neither of us, Chris, put the Titans in the playoffs. Titans were the number 1 overall seed in the AFC last year.
Yep.
And neither of
This
the
is
7 in the
wild.
playoffs. So
Wild.
we're probably wrong. I'm sure the Titans will make it. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they win games. I really, really don't. So, based off that, I like the Colts. I think it's an upgrade with Matt Ryan compared to Carson Wentz, who is literally the worst, and I don't know how he keeps starting gigs. I have Baltimore. You have the Bengals win the AFC North. I have Baltimore, but we both have them both making the playoffs, so not a huge deal there. I just think Baltimore, as you spoke on, is the regular season team. They win a lot of games in the regular season, but I have them losing in the first round at home to the Chargers, where I have the Bengals beating the Colts, actually. So second round here, divisional round in the AFC, I have Bills, Bengals, Chargers, Chiefs, and I don't know. I keep it basic. I go Bills, Chiefs, which I think, we have talked about, that's pretty much that's the easy pick. That's the obvious pick in the AFC. Like, who are the top two teams? Unlike you, I take the Chiefs, Chris. I'll get into that later. NFC side. So you had LA as the number 1 seed. I think LA winning a Super Bowl plus being in a tougher division than the Tampa Bay Bucks probably fall into the 2, despite being, in my mind, a better team than the Bucks. Bucks have an easier schedule and don't have the effect of like winning a Super Bowl, and what that hangs over a little bit. You're not maybe as focused, especially a team like LA. I feel like they're not going to be focused at the start. I had to manipulate this, Chris, because I love the Eagles roster.
Yeah.
I don't love the Eagles, but I love the Eagles roster. I wanted this to be a Rams-Eagles NFC Championship game. So I manipulated in that form in a sense, but I think we have the same 6 teams on the right side in the NFC. And then on the AFC, I have the Dolphins and you have
Broncos.
The Broncos.
Yep.
Yeah. For me, the Dolphins I think the Dolphins are going to be really good. I'll get into more of it when we get into the awards, but dude, everyone's hating on Tua. I think the defense is going to be really, really solid, especially on the back end in the secondary. You have literally Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, who are maybe the fastest 2 wide receivers in the NFL on the same roster. So Tua doesn't have to be great. He just has to get the ball out into these guys' hands and see what they can do. My biggest surprise pick here is probably the Dolphins, because I'm leaving out the Broncos. I'm leaving out the Titans. I'm leaving out the Raiders. I get all those teams and why those are arguments. I think the Dolphins squeak in. Are they a threat to win it all? No. But I think they squeak in. NFC wise, Chris, we have the same. I think we literally have the same 6 teams, just in different order. And then you have the Vikings in the NFC Championship against the Rams. I had the Eagles.
We both have surprise teams in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. We both are not overly high on the Bucks. We have them 1 or 2 seed, but then we just have them bowing out. I have concerns about the Bucks and where they're at, and whether Brady's in it or whether there's a lot of off the field that's going on there. It's weird. The Eagles roster is really, really good. It's all up to Jalen Hurts, and I'm not sure I'm sold, but I'm ready to make that pick, because if he's just pretty good, then that Eagles roster will take care of itself. It's
the
very,
hardest,
very talented.
the hardest. I had the hardest time with the NFC. NFC, we did have the same exact, because
it's easier to pick the teams in the NFC, but who's going? Like, literally, I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I didn't want to pick any of the teams to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. I'm not that high. If I had to rank teams 1 through 5, it's very possible, and I haven't really fully thought about it, that I would have 4 of those 5 coming from the AFC. The AFC is much better than the NFC.
Yeah.
It's much better than the NFC.
And my biggest, I mean, I was struggling between that Dallas and New Orleans. New Orleans is a team that I feel like was good enough to get in with their defense. Jameis Winston being a wild card. I think you were gone when I said this, but it was just like, all right, I know that they are good enough. They finished one game above 500, if I'm not mistaken, last year. Cowboys finished, they were 12-win team last year in the NFC. They didn't fall off that many wins, right? So, I mean, when it came down to it, I was like, Dallas has to have a complete shit show of a season for them not to make the playoffs in the NFC as weak as it is. So, with that being said, I could totally see Dallas coming off of this board, and like if I had New Orleans in here, I'd be like, I could see that.
I would take, if I was replacing Dallas, I'd take Carolina.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people love to hate on Baker, and I get it. I'm not saying he's elite, but I think he's much better than people give him credit for. And if he's healthy this year, I think Carolina could easily be a playoff team. Getting in on the back end, but
which tells everybody. It tells everybody that we're not high on Dallas this year either. We're not like, it's like,
and Dallas is my NFC team. I want to be high on Dallas, but part of it's they've already hit the injury bug. They had injuries coming back from last year, and their left tackle Tyron Smith is likely out for a year. They're signing a dude that's like 42 to play left tackle. I know he's been an all pro before, but he's like 42 years old. I don't know what to think about the Cowboys.
Yeah. Let's get to the chat here. Tua's not having a breakout year, says G Girl. I didn't draft him to sit on the bench all year, says Chairman. We're talking about Tua. Extra point is no good. Oh, keeping us up on the final score. FSU over LSU, 24-23. Big
on an extra point? I wasn't watching. Was it really on an extra point?
Oh, that sucks. Ooh,
that's terrible.
I'm sold on the Eagles, both sides of the ball, says G Girl. Eagles could be. I mean, I don't hate your Eagles.
I think their ceiling is limited because of the quarterback, but the roster is really good.
Let's see, what else do we have here? With a lot of the people are checking out that LSU.
Football wife asked me what I'm smoking. I don't smoke.
I mean, we are in Colorado, but I don't think Scotty smokes as much as you think.
Referencing? Football wife. I'm doing good right here.
Reckoning says Carolina won't make it, not because of Baker, but because there's not much there.
What's not there? Tell me what's not there.
Chairman says, I agree, Baker is way better than people give him credit for. People forget he played injured last year. Merciless, what's up? How we doing?
Chris, how I explain it is literally, I remember, so Baker last year, they opened up in Kansas City against the Chiefs week 1, him being the Cleveland quarterback, healthy, obviously. And I've never seen a guy be that accurate before. He was pinpoint. He was so good in that game. So good in that game.
We have a special person in the chat that we haven't seen in a while, and that's Spees Benchmark. What's up, Spees?
Spees is about to fire off again, right?
Spees, how we doing, my friend?
It to you, Chris. I was like, oh, Spees is about to get off again.
Spees, welcome in, man. Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Like, what do you? Everyone's.
Did you see Chris's Vikings pick in the NFC Championship game?
Here's my picks over here. Yeah, I got. We have both got weird teams that are not.
Listen. There was a version where I had Rams versus Bucks in the NFC Championship game, and I was like, that's so boring. I'm not going to do it. One, it's going to be wrong, and two, it's boring. So yeah, I went with the Eagles. I'm high on the Eagles, I guess.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah,
they're not making a Super Bowl, and if they do, they'll get dominated by the AFC team.
No matter what, yeah, it's not gonna be good. Spees, I heard some rumors that you might be coming back. If so, I don't know. This little rumors, little birds tweeting out there. So maybe we can connect and do some fun things if you guys are. If not, then maybe I'm just mistaken. But welcome in, Spees. We've missed you, buddy. I hope you and Silky are doing fantastic. So everyone else misses you as well. Could he be more accurate passer? Says Cuban Benny says, i.e. Chandler from the...
Could he be any more accurate for the passer?
Yeah. A little.
I think that's
a
how you
reference.
have to deliver that.
Yeah, I delivered that awful. Yeah. It's bad.
Really poorly.
All right. So that's what we're looking at. T-minus 4 days and counting. Let's go.
Let's go, Spees. Looking forward to seeing you back in the mix here.
Guys, we can't wait to have Spees back. So there you have it. So, all right. Well, there's our playoff predictions. Now we need to see who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Who's winning it? Who you got, Chris?
I got, if you see in the background there, you see Josh Allen throwing up that trophy. I got the Bills eking out a win against the Rams. And then there you go. Moon Princess is digging it.
It's a super doctored photo.
And yeah, it is. And then we also have Scotty's, which should be no surprise, is Patrick Mahomes hoisting the trophy.
Yeah.
So with that being said, those are our playoff picks when it comes to our Super Bowl and playoff predictions for our various divisions, for the seeding, for everything else. Guys,
Come on, man.
Says Squand. What's up, Squand?
Everyone right now, take a screen capture so you can get the perfect picks for your playoff bracket. Those are mine, and they're probably perfect.
Your graphics are nifty. Well done, says Spees. Also,
I try hard.
Shocking pick, Scotty. What else do we have? T-minus 4 days. Yes, Bill's taking it all. It's already in Discord. The screen caps are all in Discord for Devil Doc. There you go. So, there you have it, guys. Those are our playoff predictions. Guys, who do you guys have winning it all? Throw it in the chat. Who you have winning?
Devil Doc or Rec or whoever, if you could throw in the chat a poll. Whose bracket do you playoff bracket do you like more? Who's going to be better off? Chris or myself?
Squan says the Bucks are taking it all. So he's still high on Tom Brady. Tom Brady's head is still in the game, so he thinks he's going to be able to get over the hump with, without having any issues. What's up, Klept? I'm winning the fantasy league. Well, nice.
What fantasy league? This is a super fantasy league because none of them have started. So if you're winning this far, you're in a fake league.
Even with a weird plastic surgery Barbie, says Squad. So I think Rams go back to the Super Bowl on the NFC side, says G Girl. Bills will beat the Bucks in the Super Bowl. Book it.
To be fair, we both have the Rams in the Super Bowl. I actually think that's going to be wrong. I just hated all the other NFC teams. I didn't know who to pick. I don't think the NFC is very good, quite frankly.
You just have...
And could they win the Super Bowl against an AFC team in a one-game situation? Yes.
All right.
So don't get it twisted. But I don't think the NFC is very good.
Let's break this.
I think the AFC is so much better.
Much better. You know what you're getting with the AFC. You don't know what you're getting with some of the NFC. And that's like, all right, Cowboys, what are they? There's questions there. You got the Packers. They have wide receiver questions and offensive questions. Even though they have Aaron Rodgers, he's going to make people better, but still... There's a talent gap there. You have the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. We don't know if he's going to take the next step. You got San Francisco. You have quarterback questions. We don't know what's going to happen with those. You got Tampa Bay. We don't know if Tom Brady's going to have any, major setbacks with like his mental capacity with stuff going on outside of football. The Minnesota Vikings have issues on defense if the injuries happen to that defensive. Everybody's got some sort of question mark that holds them back. I could look at the Kansas City and the Buffalo Bills and the Bengals and the Ravens and the Colts. There's
JK wants us to throw it back real quick. So throw your picks in there real quick.
All right, let's just go back here. These are my original picks here. My picks. check them out. No way Philly goes into Tampa where it'll be 85 degrees and winds in late December, says Pocket Pool. What's up, Pocket Pool? How we doing? I love the name, by the way.
I'm not sure it's going to be 85 in December. I don't think the weather is going to play a role with the Eagles losing. They could lose that game. I'm not sure it's weather related.
And then here's Scotty's right here. Scotty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Football Wife said that picture of Scotty doesn't have a beard. Yeah, it's confusing. Yeah, now I have just this aggressive beard that you guys have to watch for. So I said, when I made this bet, I was like, my wife's not going to care. And then I said it again. I was like, my wife's not going to care. She's looked at me recently and it's like, she's already like, it's probably got to go. And I'm like, well, I can't do that. I've agreed with my fellow viewers, my wonderful crew who put that out there in order for this to grow. And now she's trying to hold family photos over me.
Oh, no. Don't do it.
Which, there's nothing worse, by the way, even if I didn't have to grow a beard. Bruh. Nothing worse than family photos, Chris. Because I know I'm going to look worse than all the other 4 people in the photo. It's just hard to get there, you know? So why not have a beard? Because I'm going to look like trash regardless.
Yeah, either way. You're going to have the beard for a little bit until the end of October. So it is what it is. It's the plan. Whose bracket do you like more? Vote in the chat, Chris or Scotty, or there's a third option, you're both trash. No one's voted we're both trash yet, so that's good.
No one's voted that?
Oh, finally someone put in one vote. So right now, Chris's bracket's lit 6-2 to 1 on the bracket.
6? You have 6?
Yeah.
You have 6-2 to 1?
Yep. Now it's
Did
6.
people look at the brackets?
I mean, they did, and they're making nice quality decisions. 6-3 to 3.
Yeah, I get what's happening here. I picked the Chiefs to win, and they're not going to side with that. That's fine. It's fine.
Spee says, "Bro, you have."
When it happens, just wait for Chris's MVP pick.
So, yeah,
it's fine though. It's fine.
It's fine.
You guys don't want to support greatness. It's fine.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Actually, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better about my picks.
Says, "Bro, you have 140 subs. Ballers. We're not balling out yet, man." And by the way, Reckoning says, "Remember, 9 more subs and we get Chris dying of spice. 9 more subs and I'm dying, eating some hot food, guys." If you want to see me just losing my mind,
the man wants to eat hot food on stream.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Help the man out and give us some subs real quick.
Pocket Pool. Weather is huge in the playoffs and more so for cold/warm weather teams and dome teams going into the cold. Ask Aaron Rodgers and the San Francisco 49ers how that game turned out last year. That was kind of all over the place. Vikings have a better chance of going deeper than the Eagles, so I picked Chris's, says Squand. Arizona over San Francisco, says Pocket Pool. We both don't have Arizona in here, by the way.
No.
Scotty is fine. It's fine.
The pick that the Vikings should go further than the Eagles is wild to me. It's wild. I think it's wild that we both have the Vikings winning their division, and I think that's wild. But the Eagles have a better roster right now than the Vikings. They just do. I get it's down to quarterback, but we're not talking about the greatest quarterback to ever play when we're talking about Kirk Cousins. Right?
Milwaukee's has Chargers and Packers in the Super Bowl. Chargers and Packers.
Well, Milwaukee has never paid attention to the Chargers ever before because they always fail you. They will always fail you.
So, all right. So let's dive in now that we've gotten our playoff predictions out there. We have them all documented. They're all out there.
Yeah.
Let's get to our season awards and who we think will win those. Squand, before we get to those, Bucks over Chiefs, a return to Brady versus Mahomes, LOL.
There was a point that I had that as the Super Bowl matchup with the Chiefs winning. If the Bucks and Chiefs play in the Super Bowl and the Chiefs lose again, I I might walk off a cliff, Chris. I don't know. Like, there's no reason the Chiefs should lose to that Bucs team at this point. Unless their whole offensive line is hurt again. Then maybe. As they were 2 years ago.
Yoker, what's up? Bucks over Bills. Hey, welcome in. First time chatter. Hey, let's give Yoker a nice, warm Action Lab welcome. Who's your team and where are you from? Like to get to know you a little bit, but he's got Buccaneers over Bills. Pocket Pool has Bills versus Colts, Rams versus Tampa Bay, Bills versus Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay. A lot of love for Tampa Bay in the chat. A lot of love.
No. A lot of Brady lovers. Weird. JK puts out there, who agrees with me that the Sunday night Action Lab show just hits different when you have Monday off? Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
A lot of people pointing up to there. Yeah, I mean, I think it hits pretty well all the time, but that's biased. So, but I get it. Enjoy your Labor Day. Thanks for hanging with us tonight.
Absolutely.
As we dive into some more NFL preview. We're not going to have to preview much longer.
Nope.
This is like our last season long preview. On Wednesday, we're diving into week 1 games. Like, it's like, it's kind of real life. It's real world stuff.
All right. Well, let's dive into season awards. And we have some season awards here that we put together on who we think is going to win. Now, interesting. I was putting this all together and I didn't even look at yours. But it's interesting that I picked your boy and you didn't pick your boy, but you got Josh Allen as your MVP. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. By the way, Reckonings, he's been saying a couple times in the chat, Steelers all the way. Hey, no Steelers? Time to go Pierre mode.
What do you mean by Steelers all the way? Like Steelers all the way to the first round pick? Like, what are you trying to say?
So, Scotty,
they're not gonna be very good this year. And if they are good, it's all based off the coaching overachieving.
CJP, imagine not having Labor Day off. Oof, I know. Scotty, sorry.
I too don't have it off, guys, but it's fine.
Here we go. Let's see what we got.
If Brady and the Bucs win the SB again, I give up on football.
Yeah. You and me both.
I think we all might.
You and me both.
I think we all might. I think literally that would be the downfall of football.
Packers. I'm from Illinois, says Yoker. Well, nice. Welcome in. You are going to be nice. Good. You're going to be great friends with Milwaukee's best. He's a Packers fan as well. So
is he? I hadn't picked that up.
I couldn't have. I have questioned it myself, but there you go.
Okay. Colts
division is so sad because Colts have top 2 seeds in AFC. Crazy.
I don't think the Colts will have a top 2 seed. I think people are being too aggressive on the Colts and where they're headed. Personally, like, I get it. They're in a division that's capable of winning. You get an upgraded quarterback. You have a nice roster, but is that roster that nice? Everyone who's picking the Colts to win their division, I would love to ask those people if they could name 5 players on that team. And I bet most people couldn't. Literally name 5 players on that team. So I think is a little false. Could they win the division? Yes. Are they a Super Bowl contender? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not even close.
Yeah. That'll be a fun one to watch though, how it unfolds.
And I haven't won a division in our picks. I get it. I get the appeal. They're not very good though.
So, all right, let's dive in. Scotty, I have Mahomes as my MVP this year. I think what put me over the edge with Mahomes is they have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. If he's able to win, to get a top seed in the AFC, it's because he willed that team, given the schedule, given all of the, like, everyone's saying that it's going to be tough for them with the just the week to week. It's going to be big time teams that they're playing. I think that if he can navigate that and win a lot of games, I think that's going to give him a nice little edge, knowing that he took down the best of the best in the NFL on the way.
Chris, you sent me your picks, and I wasn't gonna copy them, obviously. So I was gonna stay away from that. And then again, it's almost, if I pick Mahomes, it's an obvious homer pick. Whatever. Listen. Josh Allen is poised. I think he's good enough. I think he's the frontline favorite. I think people want to bet on him. So if everything's equal, Josh Allen will win the award. He's in a easier, division in the AFC, probably the easiest in the AFC, if I had to say. Should win a lot of games and be an MVP. Do I agree with you a little bit more? Yeah, I think Mahomes, more so than ever, has something to prove. I think people, now that Tyreek's gone, he has...
True.
Once you provide Mahomes with like an alley of like, I have to prove something, he almost plays like he plays better. Not almost plays better. He does play better. Maybe that's just a coincidence at this point and it won't work this year. But I think Mahomes being downgraded because of the loss of Tyreek, I think your pick's better than mine, but I wasn't going to go with the same pick. So I think Josh Allen is really, really good. Will put up really, really good stats and really, really good numbers, and could easily be the MVP of the league, and I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't disagree.
And by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to tell you how many I matched up with you, and then I changed them last minute. But yeah, so let's get into Offensive Player of the Year. I think Jefferson's going to go crazy this year. I think he is by far one of the most talented football players, just in general, in the NFL. He is electric, and I think that this is going to be the year where he just blows up. I think he's going to have a fantastic offensive year. I think Kirk Cousins, we're high on the Vikings winning that division. We're high on them. Their offense, I think, is going to be very good. They have good running game. They have good receivers all the way around. And I just think he's just going to ball out. So I think he's a shoe for that Offensive Player of the Year.
I wouldn't say a shoe-in, but I have no issues with that pick, Chris. I think that's a great pick. I think Justin Jefferson is going to be a monster this year. I love it. I just think everyone's forgetting how dominant Christian McCaffrey is when he's healthy.
True.
And now he's 2 years. I know he's been hurt the last 2 years, but that also means he's 2 years of saving his body up to just go this year. And you don't think a guy who was at the peak of his, sport 2 years ago is competitive enough to make sure he's ready to go this year and going to dominate this year? I think McCaffrey, I have him in several fantasy football leagues. I'm thrilled to have him. Even if he gets hurt, I will not regret that pick. I will not regret picking McCaffrey, because I promise you, as I promise everyone in those streams, on those chats, that McCaffrey, if he is healthy this year, will be, without a doubt, the number one fantasy player in all of fantasy. And that's why I have to pick him for Offensive Player of the Year. If he's healthy, he's the best. He's going to put up the best stats that we've seen. It's just automatic. I don't even think it's not that controversial to me. It's just going to happen.
He does everything.
And could he get hurt? Yes. But guess what? Every single player could get hurt in their next play. I'm here to win, and I will take McCaffrey all day, every day. Because you know what? He is a dynamic player, and he will catch a lot of balls, and he'll run, and he'll do it all. And damn it, if you hate on that.
No, he can do literally everything, and he's a full offense by himself practically when he's healthy. So I think the biggest question, and we both have him as comeback player of the year. We both have agreed on that. I was kind of going back and forth with Michael Thomas, but I was like, there's one player that's going to impact the game more than Michael Thomas. It's going to be Christian McCaffrey if he's healthy.
A lot of people probably think, oh my goodness, Derrick Henry.
Oh, Derrick Henry, sure. Sure.
which makes a lot of sense. I don't blame you for picking that for comeback player. It's a competitive thing this year. But I'm taking McCaffrey because I have him as offensive player of the year, so it's hard to argue he's not comeback player of the year.
Milwaukee has David Bakhtiari comeback player of the year.
Crazy that he picks a Packers left tackle.
Didn't Henry come back at the end of last year, says Pocket Pool?
For the playoffs,
He did.
yes,
He
but
didn't-
not regular season. And he
didn't look like himself.
I actually don't think he's going to look very good this year either.
Devil Doc
the
says-
offensive line's different. I'm not high on Derrick Henry. He's not on any of my fantasy teams, and I'm not high on him.
He worries
But
me a
I've been
little
wrong.
bit.
I've been very wrong before.
I'll let
Derrick Henry.
other people be right on him, and I'll just kind of let him. I'm kind of the same wavelength as you. Devil Doc says we'll get to defensive player of the year in a second. He wanted TJ Watt to win defensive player of the year.
He already has.
Again.
He already has. Don't be greedy.
So
Chris is getting greedy with his defensive player of the year. But
I actually, this is one that I had the exact pick you have. I had him in there, and I was like, Aaron Donald is going to be on a team that goes big this season, right? I mean, we both have the Rams having a big season. Now, it's interesting because NBA is very interesting with how they go about picking like MVP. You can't. You win it a couple times and then you're automatically your name's taken out pretty much because they need someone else to win this and that. Whether that's like right or not or whatever, like it is what it is. But with some of these picks, I just think that especially in the NBA, they look at your success as a team. What's your record? How good are you? But like NFL's a little different. They don't do that as much. But I will say here, the success of the Rams is driven by an amazing football player named Aaron Donald. He is a game changer when it comes to that defensive line. So that being said, I just think he's just too tough not to pick here. Did I have Parsons in here? Yes, I did, and I switched it last minute. Do I think both are in the running? Yes, those are my top two guys that I think are in the running for this award. I went with Donald.
I mean, I just think Micah Parsons is an absolute monster. I think he's something like I don't feel like most people really realize because I follow the Cowboys. They're my NFC team. I have a couple buddies that I love and adore that make me appreciate the Cowboys on the NFC side. Micah Parsons was so good last year. I think people are underestimating how good Micah Parsons' rookie season was as a defensive player compared to historically. Like, one of the best seasons we've ever seen. I get Aaron Donald's a monster. Fine, pick that. I think, but in your argument, I actually think people are tired of picking Aaron Donald. He's won a few times. Micah Parsons, and it all depends on where they put him and where they place him and do they allow him to rush the quarterback enough in Dallas. But if I genuinely believe this, if you take every GM in the league and you ask them to draft a defensive player first, I think Micah Parsons would be the number one overall pick. I think based off future talent, projection, where he's at now, where he could go, I think Micah Parsons is the single best defensive player in the NFL, and I'm going to take him for player of the year. And yeah, I mean he's so good. He's so good.
I 100% agree. He is absolutely insane. Game changer, people say.
Mackie says they would pick Micah due to age there. Yeah, I know there's an age factor in there, but there's a lot of other young people, right? Like,
yeah. In the Hauser, I love you. You mean your Cowboy friends have succeeded in brainwashing you with their yearly with their?
I took the Cowboys as a 7 seed and losing the first round. I think that's fair. That's what you did, Chris.
Yeah. No.
I want them to go much further. I really, really do. But yeah, the Cowboys have struggled in the postseason for sure.
So comeback play of the year, we've kind of discussed. We both have Christian McCaffrey. I think I had, Michael Thomas is maybe potentially coming back with Jameis Winston, and he's been out of the game for like a year and a half. So it's like he's been 2 years or something stupid. So maybe Derrick Henry could be another one. Yeah, there's a couple there, but Christian McCaffrey makes the biggest impact of all those guys. Offensive rookie of the year. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah. I went Super Bowl with my rookie picks. These aren't actually with the last three. These aren't the common ones. These aren't the betting favorites. Offensive rookie of the year. That's James Cook right there. That's the running back drafted to Buffalo. I really, really think when he gets opportunities, I'm not a big Singletary guy. He's going to be huge in the passing game to start. James Cook is. Eventually, he'll be the lead back in a dynamite offense that's one of the best offenses of the league. I think James Cook is an elite addition. I think he's going to be really, really good. Will he win it? Probably not. But what I want to do here is just feature how good I think he's going to be based off of everyone else and how they view him. Who do you got here, Chris?
I got Olave here. Olave, yeah. I think he's going to be a big impact player for Jameis Winston. I think he's going to have a lot of versatility and stretching the field and making big plays. You got Michael Thomas coming back, as mentioned in the Player of the Year conversation. However, with this, Pocket Pool says too many cooks in the kitchen for Olave. No, there are a lot of options, but I think that's what kind of helps him in a sense is that, you have those top options that are, drawing away attention from a guy that maybe gets overlooked a little bit as a young guy in the league. And so maybe he's able to get away with some of those bigger plays. I think if anybody's able to put the ball all over the field, I think Jameis Winston has that ability. I think he's very inconsistent, but I think he's able to be very dynamic throwing the football when he needs to be. So with that being said, I think I like Olave to have a bigger statistical season this year. And by the way, when we're done with all these picks, I'm going to go and say the favorites of each of these categories as of today in FanDuel Sportsbook. So we'll go back.
Yeah, Football Wife like the James Cook. Pocket Pool, Buffalo isn't a running team. That's not why I'm not picking James Cook off of a running offense. I think he's going to be very involved in the passing game, which their running backs like Singletary aren't involved in necessarily. So I think that's a huge factor. And I think he's behind an offensive line where he just needs to find the hole and get upfield very quickly, and he'll be fine in the running game too. So that's just my thoughts. I think, Pocket Pool also talks about New Orleans having too many cooks in the kitchen, which I get the argument, but I think Olave is going to be. I like that pick for you. I think that's a nice pick. Romeo Doubs over Olave. I get the Romeo Doubs hype. It's just gone to so many different levels right now, Chris, where I'm not ready to get there. If you don't know, Romeo Doubs has had a good preseason for the Packers. Everyone now wants to turn him into wide receiver 1 for Aaron Rodgers, which we've not seen. I don't know that we've seen a Aaron Rodgers to Romeo Doubs throw in history of man, Chris.
Squan says that right here. Man. Squan's like Romeo Doubs if Rodgers throws him the ball.
Yeah, I'm not saying Romeo Doubs couldn't be it.
Yeah, he could be very good.
I'm not there. I think people are over adjusting and over analyzing preseason, and if a guy's playing in week 3 of preseason for the Packers, do you think Rodgers would let that happen? Rodgers is the most he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room all the time. So he's not going to let a guy that he has a good rapport with play in week 3. That's just me.
Do you guys remember
Yeah.
after Micah Parsons' first preseason game and he said,
I have all sorts of stuff.
But I took a sleeper in James Cook. I like your Olave pick. We can get into defense. I'll dive into my defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to go with two different guys. I went with this guy for our boy.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I went with the Texan. I went with Stingley. I think Stingley is the most talented defensive player when he's healthy to come out in a long
I'll drink to that.
long time.
Drink to that.
Okay. I could be wrong. And I will drink to that. I don't know who asked for it.
Cuban.
I told you, I tipped you to the Stingley pick.
Yep.
You were at the draft.
I was at the draft, and you said
People that you were with thought I was an idiot
yeah.
for saying Stingley was going 3, and then he went 3. And I think it was a great Stingley as a freshman in college as a cornerback was probably regarded as the best freshman cornerback we've ever seen. And now for Moab, I'm here for it. I'm gonna represent those Texans. I love Derek Stingley. There's some other picks. Honestly, beyond Derek Stingley, I'm gonna sound like a homer, but I would take George Karlaftis, the first round pick, one of the first round picks for the Chiefs. I think Karlaftis is a monster with an unlimited motor, and he's gonna have ample opportunity to just rush the quarterback. He doesn't have to do anything else. When you're a DN for the Chiefs, you're gonna get a lot more opportunities to get a sack than you are on most teams because you're gonna be ahead a lot. No offense.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. So for me, I love Stingley. I think he's the best probably prospect taken in this draft last year. And then if he's not looked at in that light because he's on a bad team in the Texans, I think it's Karlaftis. You have Billie Jean here.
I do.
You got Billie Jean.
I have Billie Jean. You talked about motor. This guy has a relentless motor as well. He has been featured early on in some HBO special. I don't know. It's called, what is it again, Scotty?
Hard Knocks.
Oh, yeah, Hard Knocks. And he's looked really good. And I think I love what this kid brings. I wasn't really, I was kind of curious on how he would translate early on and how he would, the first, taste of pro football. And he's been if it looks like he's taking it. The game is slow for him right now as a rookie. And I think that this is going to be a big year for him. He's able to impact the run, the passing game. He has quick hands. He can, do a lot of different things on the defensive side of the football. The defense on the Lions is going to be better this year, which I think helps him a little bit for his case as defensive rookie of the year. So it's hard for me to go against him. He's one of the favorites. We'll go over all the favorites here in a minute. But now that I see your Stingley pick for Moab, I want this to happen. I want them to do it. So I want to change my pick. Milwaukee says Quay Walker. So for
weird though, the linebacker drafted out of Georgia. Linebacker is not a position that should warrant defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, whatever it is. Linebacker in today's league. Listen, I think the Chiefs have the best linebacking core in the AFC West, but I also would say that's the least valuable position group in football. Almost like your linebacking core is important, especially based off who you're playing. But I'd rather have a good secondary. I'd rather have a good defensive line than a linebacking core, quite frankly.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So let's get into our coach of the year. And Scotty, I'll let you lead off with your pick for coach of the year.
So I went, Chris, you sent me yours and I was like, that doesn't surprise me. Both of us are high on the Vikings this year.
Yep.
We both picked them in our picks to win the NFC North.
Yeah.
So it wasn't surprising that you threw Kevin O'Connell as a rookie head coach as the pick for, coach of the year. That made a lot of sense. So I was like, while that might be my pick, I'll go a different route. And I went with Mike McDaniel. Another rookie coach in Miami, another team that I think will surprise some people and squeak in the AFC, which is so much better, especially depth-wise. All across the board, I think top heavy and depth wise, the AFC is so much better than the NFC this year. Here's a team that I don't think a lot of people are picking. I don't think a lot of people are like looking at Miami like, oh, this is a team that's going to make the playoffs. I think they do. I think Mike McDaniel could be in the mix for Coach of the Year. He's a local dude. He literally went to high school within 15 minutes of us, Chris.
Smoky Hill, a rival of my school.
Right? Yeah, a rival of your school. And honestly, his school was...
When did he graduate?
5 minutes from my school. I don't know that answer off the top of my head. I'd have to check that out. But local boy, he's a super nerd, but I also think he's super smart. I don't know. I just really think, especially this year, Miami will figure some things out. They'll be pretty good. Moving forward, do I ever see them competing for Super Bowl right now with this roster? No. But can they make a playoff run and be in the playoffs at least? I think so.
Representing Smoky Hill, he graduated class of 2001. So he was a little bit ahead of me. I was 06, so he was a few years ahead of me. But that's cool though.
And I was 16, so
yeah. So
2016.
Which is that's kind of crazy to think that he was just right down the street from us. But yeah, I have Kevin O'Connell. You mentioned I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. So
yeah, go ahead.
Kevin O'Connell is going to have a roster here that I think is going to help him succeed to getting in the conversation for that NFL Coach of the Year award. So, he's got an amazing offense here with like offensive weapons. I mean, by amazing, Kirk Cousins isn't necessarily like the sexiest quarterback in the NFL by any means. He's not going to blow you away and he's not the top in mind, but he can win games and he can get it done. So I think if he's just...
You're describing yourself right there, Chris.
I mean, am I?
I'm just kidding. You are the sexiest.
Chat's probably like, Chris is the sexiest. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. And we lose followers. So, yeah, I just think he has a lot to work with this season. I think that they can, if he wins this division, his name is going to be right up in the mix with all these other coaches. So I just think that he has a really good shot at it. Now, let's go. And we only have 2 favorites amongst our list overall that are like on these various categories to win it all. So let's dive into those real quick before we move on here. Josh Allen is the favorite with Mahomes as the secondary. So you have one of the favorites. Offensive Player of the Year favorite, Jonathan Taylor is number 1. He is the favorite to win it all. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Lamar Jackson all trail from there. Derrick Henry is tied with Lamar Jackson. So
you didn't mention my pick there. Where is he?
He is not on this list. Well, at least he's not on this top tier. He is...
Love it even more.
He's at least...
He's got to be like 6 or 7.
He's 11th or 12th.
No.
So
no.
You got Taylor.
What betting site is that? They should be fired on the spot.
FanDuel Sportsbook. So Taylor, Jefferson, Kupp, Taylor, Jefferson, Kupp, Jackson, Henry, Deebo Samuel, Nick Chubb, Devontae Adams, Justin Herbert. He's tied with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes for Offensive Player of the Year. And
promise you all, as I've
Josh
said before,
Allen and Trey Lance.
McCaffrey plays 15 games this year, he's the surefire number 1 fantasy player in the league. It's not even close. It's not close, Chris. How do people not see this? And everyone's like, yeah, but he gets hurt. Okay. It's like other running backs don't get hurt. And does past injuries equal future injuries? I'm not so sure. I think McCaffrey's going to be the single most important player in fantasy football this year. And I have him on a lot of my teams, Chris.
Yeah, you were very high on him. AP NFL Defensive Player of the Year favorite. Do you know this one?
Is it Donald?
Miles Garrett.
Oh, I did know that. Actually.
Miles Garrett is the favorite, which is
Donald's 2. But
no,
yeah.
TJ Watt 2, Donald 3.
That's not what I saw, but yeah.
Nick Bosa 4, Micah Parsons 5.
Yeah.
Joey Bosa 6. So there's your defensive standouts at the top of that list. All right.
Throw some money on Micah Parsons because he's better than a lot of those guys.
So let's go ahead and take a look at what do we have next. Comeback player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry is the favorite here.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry plus 500. Actually, no, he's co-favorite with Brian Robinson. Then you got Jameis Winston, Christian McCaffrey, Baker Mayfield.
Nothing against what happened to Brian Robinson. No chance he wins comeback player of the year, though.
Coach of the year.
No chance.
Brandon Staley is the coach of the year favorite, tied with Brian DeBoll.
I've literally heard other avenues where Brandon Staley's on the hot seat, which I disagree with. But him being the favorite for coach of the year is absolutely wild. Wildly don't know. No. You can make a bet on Staley being the coach of the year if his odds were around 8th in the league. I'd be like, okay, I like the upside there. The favorite? That's an idiotic pick. Why is he the favorite? What the fuck has Brandon Staley done, Chris, to make him the favorite in people's eyes, the public's eyes, to be coach of the year? What has he done?
He hasn't done much. I mean,
and I honestly, I love. He's the most aggressive coach in the league, and against the Chiefs, I think that's the right approach. Here's my issue with Staley. Okay, real quick. I talked about it today too. Maybe not you. Maybe our Uncle John. But my issue with Staley is like against the Chiefs, he's super aggressive. He's aggressive with his play calling all the time, right? He'll go forward on 4th down where no one else will. I'm fine with that. Actually, I'm frustrated as a Chiefs fan that he does that. I would prefer him punt. Even if it works out, I would rather him punt. Because against the Chiefs, that's the right strategy. They're a great offense. You got to be aggressive. You got to score. You can't just punt it away and hope. It's the right strategy. My problem with him is he doesn't adjust to who the opponent is. He's just crazy aggressive regardless. Like against another opponent that doesn't have a great offense, I don't know who it is. I don't care. Maybe back off a little. Maybe chill out. Maybe punt the ball away. Maybe that's the right choice. I think what he's missing, because I like his aggressiveness. I really, really like Brandon Staley's aggressive nature. But I think it's misguided with where he doesn't adjust based off the opponent.
That's
his issue.
Should that be the tagline for the Chargers? What have they done? What have they done lately? The Chargers. What have they done lately? I mean, that's just kind of from the coaching standpoint, from the quarterback standpoint, from the just in general the team success standpoint. What have they done recently? They get the hype. I mean, they're number 2 in so many power rankings. Overall, not just in like the division, overall. And I'm just like, what?
Now the chat's talking about Kingsbury and what he's done. Also, actually less. Kingsbury is a worse coach beyond belief. I would, if you ask me who I would take, I'd take Staley all day, every day over Kingsbury. I don't even know why Kingsbury has a job. He's handsome, and he had like Mahomes at his school and still didn't win. He didn't even win with Mahomes in college, Chris. He had a losing record in college, and he has a pro football job.
I mean, bruh. Who knew?
Which, by the way, now he has to babysit Kyler Murray. And when I say babysit, I'm actually putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is a disaster. The Cardinals know it. Kingsbury knows it. Kyler knows it. Everyone knows it. The Cardinals are not going to be good.
Which is why we don't have him making the playoffs. We don't have him getting there.
Not good.
So, all right. Offensive rookie of the year.
Yep.
Kenny Pickett is the favorite. George Pickens, number 2. Actually, no, they're tied. Pickett and Pickens. Tied. Co-favorites.
2 Steelers.
Yep. Damian Pierce is third, tied with Chris Olave. Then you have Defensive Rookie of the Year is the only other favorite on here that we have on our list, and I have Aiden Hutchinson here.
Yep.
And he is the favorite. Thibodeau is number 2. Kyle Hamilton 3. Trayvon Walker 4. Ahmad Gardner 5.
Outside of my boy here and Derek Stingley, look out for George Karlaftis.
Let me just see where George is here. He's
got to be like top 10 or 12.
Oof.
Probably 18-1. I guess 18-1.
Either I missed him.
You missed him.
Oh yeah. Plus 2,000.
20. Okay.
Yeah.
I put him at 18. Well, I would put him much higher. Mostly, I'm not saying he's the most talented player right now, but his motor combined with the opportunity is going to be elite. He's going to put up stats because his motor is elite. And the opportunity to rush the quarterback when you're playing on the defense of the Chiefs, you get a lot more opportunities, quite frankly, to just pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. And that's what he's really good at. So if Karlaftis won Defensive Rookie of the Year, it wouldn't shock me. Not one bit.
In the Hauser. Must be nice to have all those early round picks, Scott. Also, what else do we have here?
Well, I mean, we don't have to trade all our first round picks for an average quarterback like Russell Wilson.
We'll see how average he is this season. Squad says Frank Reich. Said for the coach of the year potentially, and then Mackey's like, "Ooh, I love that."
Mackey loves the Colts, so yeah, that makes sense. I like Frank Reich, but like, I don't know. Some years the Colts it's like, oh, Frank Reich's overachieved and they're so good, and the next year they kind of underachieve. I think the Colts are going to be good this year, so yeah, I think Frank Reich will be in the mix. Whether it's his coaching or whether it's just happenstance, I don't know, but. Yeah, I think he'll be in the mix, and I think the Colts will be a very, very good team in the regular season, at least. I don't know about playoffs, but regular season, I think the Colts will be very good.
If Hollywood Brown is good and Hopkins comes back and is good, Arizona might surprise in the NFC North. They are loaded.
Well, good news. Hollywood Brown is trash, and we don't know fully what to expect from Hopkins when he comes back. I'd rely much more on Hopkins than Hollywood Brown. I thought that trade was not very good for the Cardinals. It didn't make sense to me. I literally just have images of Hollywood Brown just dropping wide open touchdowns left and right last year. I don't think Hollywood Brown's that good. I just don't. I didn't love that trade for them.
What's up, Broncos? How we doing, my friend? How's everything going? Good evening. Thank you, Dave. 4848. What's going on? How are we doing? Who's your team and where you're from? Like to get to know you a little bit. Thank you for the follow. Let's go. Welcome.
Thank you so much for the Shack Shimmy.
So there you go. We have everything all situated here. We have our predictions for our season awards. We have all of our other predictions when it comes to our picks.
Can you believe when looking at Mike McDaniel's picture that he's a real life coach? We've left it. We've left it, but
I don't think he looks like a real life coach.
He doesn't look like a real life person that should be in charge of anyone. Quite frankly, but I believe in him.
And if you were to tell me like, hey, check out his press conferences, does this guy seem like a coach? I'd be like, maybe not.
I actually like his lighthearted stuff.
I like that he like makes it a little bit more fun, and
I think the nerd plays through. I think he's really smart. I don't know if he's a leader of men, but he's really smart, I think.
All right, so there you have it. I'm going to leave it on our picks here and rotate back and forth. That is going to be kind of all of our rack. This is it, Scotty. We are 3 days, 16 hours, 6 minutes, and 59 seconds away from the new season. And like, what's coming this Thursday? All right, guys, this Wednesday coming up. This Wednesday, we need you in the Action Lab. We have to have you there because we are doing something on Thursday that requires you to participate on Wednesday. And that is our new game that we're going to be doing. We're going to be going head to head. Scotty and myself will be going head to head with you guys in the Action Lab. And we want to make sure that you guys have everything you need to know when it comes to this.
Is there any chance they win a week?
I don't think so. I think between the two of us,
Probably not.
I think between the two of us, we got it locked down.
Yeah.
But you guys need to prove us wrong. We are going to be picking a fantasy lineup. You guys will have picks. We will have picks. And we will see who has more going into Thursday Night Football at the end of Thursday Night Football. And then we will be giving away some things associated. I think, what, are we going to be giving away some subs? Are we going to be giving away...
We'll figure out the stakes, whether it's subs, gear. I don't know.
We'll have some fun.
We got to
with
figure
it.
that portion out.
So
it's gonna be fun.
Here Wednesday, and we will we'll break down. Like, Wednesdays are one of our most fun shows outside of our. Look at that beard. Oof.
I mean, guys, how do you not see it? It's so elaborate.
I love
it's actually dangerous at this point.
So, guys, we need you guys here. Hey, the Richie, what's going on?
Richie,
5
thank
months.
you so much.
Let's go.
Coming in hot with the 5
By the way,
months.
we're
it.
We're 8 subs away from me eating the spiciest food on the planet.
Guys,
wait, let's see what we got.
Oh hey, I see a little bit of peach fuzz on Scotty's face.
Yeah. Guys, 5 subs away. Come on. I'm gonna pet it for a little bit. It's like my own personal animal I have on my face. I actually, and to be honest, Chris, I thought my wife would not care. I was like, she goes with the flow, whatever. No, she hates it, Chris. She already hates it.
Does she?
I'm already in trouble.
Is it when she just kisses you at the end of the night and she feels it? And it's just like...
generally just looking at me, Chris. She hates my face. My own wife.
In the house.
In the Hauser coming through.
Let's go in the Hauser.
Gifting 5 subs. Thank you so much, in the Hauser.
In the Hauser gifting
coming
out
through
subs
for some people.
For Trucking Clown, for Edgar, for Marcos, for I Have Catty Issues, and for Joey Pucks. Thank you so much. So, what does that put us?
And there's Devil Dog coming right off.
That's
right
3.
off with that momentum.
Oh my goodness, that means
Does that get us there?
That gets us there.
Are you eating some hot chips or something? What was the? What are we doing?
That means
are you eating a hot chip?
I'm eating spicy foods with the last dab and with the bomb.
Yes.
Oh.
Guys, I don't know how we didn't get here earlier, because when Chris eats this, he's going to be mute the rest of the show. This is a blessing in disguise.
Scotty's going to have to carry, and I don't know if he knows how.
I'm going to carry it.
I don't know if he knows how.
No, I will be honest. We're going to get on some real weird tangents. We may not talk about sports. I don't know. We're going to get on a weird drift of talking about whatever. But it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
G-Girl, it is very, it's extremely hot. Like, the bomb is the hottest. It is extremely hot. Like,
reckoning 5 more subs and Scotty has to eat it too. No, reckoning someone has to
run the show.
Or run the show. Someone has to talk.
Chris, you're going to have to do double burn, bro.
If we're both doing it, we can't actually hold a stream.
I saw a streamer almost die even with Milk Says Squad. I will be in trouble. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be entertaining for you guys, though. You guys will enjoy it, and I will not. And
I'm
it will
excited.
be. All right, and are we doing that maybe Sunday night? Sunday night football, maybe?
Can you get it that quickly?
I don't. Yeah. I mean, I have all the sauces. I have them all.
Broncos. Scott eats chips and sings Billie Jean. I have a new song that I'm going to present eventually, Chris. Somehow, Chris, your wife is a huge Hamilton fan, right?
Correct.
You like it too, right?
Yeah, I love Hamilton.
Yeah. For whatever reason, my children are obsessed with me singing "You'll Be Back,"
Which is
like
back. The king.
Soon, the England king. Yeah. I'm pretty damn good at it. It makes a lot of sense. Maybe one day, long down the road, maybe we'll get some subs for that, and I will sing that throughout. I'm damn good at it, actually.
I would love to hear that. All right, that'll be another goal for another day.
No, another day.
That'll be a goal for another day. We'll store that on the side.
Yeah.
I'll do this challenge coming up. Scotty will do that challenge next. This is all of a sudden turning into a challenge show, and I love it.
Yeah.
I won't love it when I'm eating those sauces, but we'll handle it. But
Chris can handle spicy, but I'm thinking this might be a lot. This might be a lot, Chris.
It's no joke. It's no joke. So
that's why I'm not partaking. And I also like spicy. I love spicy food. But good luck, Chris.
That's gonna take us to the end of our show tonight, guys. But we really need you guys to be here Wednesday, and I can't wait for this week. We are going to be breaking down the best of the best this week, and we are going to have a lot of fun doing it. Scotty, we do breakdowns of all of the teams. We do our top
We'll definitely
bets.
do the top 8 matchups in the NFL. We'll break down each of those games. We'll both have I think we do top 4 picks, best bets in general, where there's over under or a team on the money line or whatever it is. We'll
Scotty,
I'm gone, Chris.
where are you? Where'd you go?
I left the building.
Scotty, you there? I got you. I can hear you.
I can see that I'm not here, but I didn't go anywhere.
Scotty, we lost you. Hold on. Let me see where. Hold on.
Is it my face?
People just retired looking at the beard. Here, hold on. We lost Scotty. He couldn't stand it anymore. He couldn't stand it.
I mean, I'm doing just fine, Chris. Tell the people I'm doing fine.
Scott is gone. He just left the building.
You son of a bitch. I don't know how to get back. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything. I'm here.
Well, we miss you, Scotty. We're rolling some. Oh, there you go.
Am I here?
You're here. Hey,
it feels so good to be back. I was here the whole time for me.
All right, there we go.
Unbelievable. And you still have people watching without me in my face, and mostly my beard. I mean, how good is this beard?
The beard is great.
It's really bad.
So we have don't miss out this Wednesday. We will be live Thursday night for Thursday Night Football, and then we are going to be live again for Sunday Night Football, gifting out subs for bingo on Sunday night. We are excited. We hope you are too. Guys, go give us a follow on all of our socials. Give us a follow here if you have not already. We are almost ready. Thank you for all the support, guys, by the way. Thank you for all the gifted subs. Devil Doc, In the Hauser, Richie, thank you for the gifted subs. All the bits that you guys sent. Thank you so much. Reckoning and In the Hauser as well. All of you guys. Thank you. Devil Doc and G Girl and all of you guys. There's too many of you, and it means the world.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't thank Rec. Rex, the beard hides 2 of your 4 chins. Really?
Football wife as well.
Really, Rec? Come on now. Let's be supportive. I have 3 chins at the most. Okay? I even lifted weights today, Chris. I was trying to do the right thing.
Oh, you got to the gym today?
No, I lifted weights in my basement, but I lifted weights. It's all the same. It doesn't matter where you're at, Chris. I lifted weights for the first time in decades,
Let's go
probably.
raid Fireball right after this.
Fireball. Can you throw
Rex fired.
Hey, Rick, can you throw his link in the chat for me, please? I'm gonna go check to see. I don't have him here, so throw his channel. Fireball's rated us a couple times, so maybe we can go give him some love. Obviously, he is a big supporter of us and always giving us some love. So there we go. Let me see.
Little sneak peek at there, guys and ladies. Don't get too excited. One day, you'll see the whole deal there. It's a pretty big deal. Lot of muscles there. I'm told that I'm eventually developing. I would imagine.
All right, so we're gonna go send you over to Fireball. He's playing some Madden, so he's kind of teasing you with a little bit of love for NFL, getting you excited, even playing some Madden. So let me see. Let's see. There we go. All right.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh no.
Just kidding.
Whose birthday is it? Oh yeah, G Girls.
G Girls.
That's right. Happy birthday, G Girl. And
trying to get it.
And also Rip Moab. Yes, Moab. We love you, buddy. We know you're doing well up there, eating your Chick-fil-A up in the big sky. Hey, you know what? We support you guys. We support you in everything that you guys have going on. We love you guys. You guys are more than just like a community. You're a family to us. So, you know, when stuff happens, we want to make sure that you guys have our support anytime you are going through something. And this is no different. Moab has been a family member to us. He's been here since the beginning, and we'll always be in support of all of you guys. And when something happens to you guys, it hits us too. So just Moab, we miss you, buddy. We love you. And on that note, enjoy.
On that note, none of you. We love Moab, and we hope he's enjoying Chick-fil-A in the sky. But no one else had that route for now. Okay.
Yeah.
Hang out with us for a little bit.
Yep. Yeah. No.
Let's have some fun.
And it also, just shows you how much you need to live in the moment. I always say that at the end of every show. Live in the moment. You just don't know when things happen, right? Take advantage of the people around you. Be with the people around you, and go be a good person to other people too. I always say that as well. But for this week, live in the moment, because you never know, man. And
being a good person, Chris, in my mind, is the easiest thing to do. You can be frustrated with people's philosophies and their attitude and whatnot, but that doesn't affect how you treat them. Ultimately, you can disagree, you can be mad at people, you can be whatever. Just be kind. Just be kind.
Yep.
Maybe, I mean, everyone comes from a different place, and it's fair, and you can disagree, and that's fair on whatever life brings you. But at the same time, what you can do is control how you treat that person. Because I have 3 young kids, Chris, and I will be dead teaching my 3 kids that if they disagree with someone, they should hate that person. If you disagree with someone, ask questions. But regardless, you love that. You love people. You love an individual, because everyone is wonderful. Everyone's great. Everyone has their feet. Like, everything can be that simple, where like you can disagree, but at the same time appreciate where they're coming from and respect and love on that person.
That's right. That's all you can do. And we're going to be doing it here. Hope you do it.
Chairman, everyone be quiet. Scotty's being serious.
Being nice is free, says Broncos. You're absolutely
It's not
correct.
that. It costs nothing.
It costs zero.
This beer
Drink to that.
cost me $20 and it's not working well on stream. So
So
waste
guys,
of money. I really tried to build this up. No, it was free.
So enjoy your Labor Day weekend. It's if you're off tomorrow, enjoy the day. If you're not off, we'll get you halfway through the week. You know, we'll make sure that you have.
We're back Thursday for a real life NFL football game,
Guys,
Chris. That's all the people. I mean, we're back Wednesday. Hang out with us Wednesday. We're gonna preview week 1 in the NFL. We're gonna do this new game that's gonna take part with Wednesday and Thursday. It's gonna be super fun. Hang with us. Let's have some fun, guys.
Yep.
That's why we're here, right?
Have fun, talk sports. That's it. Let's go.
Have fun, talk sports. You can talk shit about Chris and I, make fun of us. I'm here for it.
We're here for it.
Well, mostly Chris. I agree. He's embarrassing. I'm kidding. I'm the most embarrassing.
Only on occasion. But I love you guys. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you back here live Wednesday on Twitch. Love you guys. Go give Fireball some love. We will see you very, very soon. Guys, see ya.
Thanks so much. See you guys on Wednesday.